Don't everybody talk at once.
People hear us on the starting soon screen? I forget whether or not they can do that.
Yeah, they can hear us on the starting soon screen.
Oh.
The starting soon screen, because I don't have an audio splitter. It basically exists for like a kind of a just chatting portion of the beginning of the stream. So when people pop in at the beginning, we can just talk in the chat and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, there's too many guardians for me to even get the prison raid. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I can't even get in the little thing before I'm killed.
Cool. So I'm no longer getting to eat my food because my stepdad's outside to take me grocery shopping, and I'm just kind of sitting there like, fuck, I just opened this.
Can you can you eat it in the car?
I cannot.
Oh.
Damn it. I'll just eat it later. I'm like speed running my everything.
Okay.
Don't joke.
I'm not eating the food right now.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna eat it later when I got back. I mean, it's a KFC meal. It'll be fine.
Okay.
The only problem is that fucking chicken breast is gonna be dry as shit. I know it.
Yeah.
There was like a brief moment the last time he brought me one where it was like, oh, it's not as dry as it usually is. Are they getting better? But the problem is that, like, once the chicken breast get cold and you try to microwave it, it's like, it's dry city. There's no fucking point.
Oh, woof.
Woof, woof, woof.
Also, there's a cookie in the box, so fucking of course I'm eating it.
Of course. Cookies can be eaten fast.
Every single fast food restaurant that adds a cookie to their meals, I hope they're doing
meals.
I hope they're doing well.
I guess I can do that. Okay.
If I had the power to, I would leave my mic on and just let you guys talk to Mango while I'm gone. But I don't.
That would be funny.
Mango.
That'd be great. Mango.
So you've been worrying me all week, Mango.
Oh, Mango.
What happened?
Sometimes he shows like egg laying behavior, and I'm like, you cannot.
No.
You don't.
Father, I crave egg laying.
No.
It occurred to me that saying someone craves egg means like it usually means like something else.
They're hungry for eggs.
Yes.
He just lays them, and then I'm supposed to be fine with it.
Mango does seem like a little bit of a fair little weirdo. I don't imagine he'd eat his own eggs.
The first time he laid an egg, I literally came into the turtle server fucking absolutely confused and frightened, like, Mango laid egg, and everyone's like, what?
My bird has laid an egg.
We were pretty sure that Mango was just a normal male cockatiel. Cunt.
Jesus.
Oh
I
my god.
just...
We are live, kid!
Yeah, we are live.
We are
hello?
alive.
Oh, thank you for the follow, Missile Dragon.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're back. We're only back to Twitch. How long?
Not even 4 minutes.
All right.
We already have a new follow.
I'm sorry that I will not be a part of the beginning of the stream. If you guys are still here, when I get back from getting groceries, I will join. Have fun.
You should not be out getting groceries until like 9 o'clock your time.
It's 5 p.m. It's fine.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway, bye. Have fun.
Bye.
Bye, son. Love you.
Get some good food.
Bye.
I'm just doing.
Who was that?
Some kid.
I don't know. Some like weird kid with a bird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Okay, so how's everyone today?
I'm doing good. I got a pre-stream shower.
That's good.
I'm raring to go. I really missed streaming I had not realized like
Mhm.
how much of a routine it had been. I guess I should have because I've actually been doing it for like 6 months now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really? God damn.
Yeah, like
Look
Fuck.
at you.
We've been
Really put it into
going.
perspective.
We've been fucking going. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Keep going.
No, but like I've been doing it so much and like I had not realized like how routine it had become. And then last week I was like not streaming and for the first couple days I was like, oh, this is a nice like rest. And then like Wednesday rolled around and I was like, I really want to stream.
I'm itching.
Aw.
And didn't we have that impromptu stream with the Minecraft server?
With the Minecraft server.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Miss Little Dragon. You can hang out, you can pop in and out of the chat. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
we
Tuesdays are just
welcome
vibes.
it all. Frankly, I really appreciate it. Hi, Jazzy.
Jazzy!
Jazzy, did you miss us?
We missed you.
We missed you
Yeah.
we missed you a lot.
It's so
Excuse
fucking fun
me?
to see you in the chat, Jazzy!
Aw.
Yay, Jazzy missed us.
Jazzy missed us.
It's very unrelated, but it's currently a thing that's happening outside in the world. But that whole gas shortage thing.
Oh yeah.
I get gas tomorrow, like as soon as I get paid.
Yeah, so like my dad just texted me a while ago and he was like, fill up the cars and gas tanks with gas. And I'm like, you do realize that makes it worse, right? People getting scared and just immediately buying gallons and gallons of gas will just make a shortage for everybody else.
I
And you're
hear
just
you
kind of
and I
making it worse.
understand you, but I have 30 miles left in my tank.
No,
Yeah.
you are fine. You need to fill up your car anyway. I'm barely a blip underneath full tank, and I'm sure my mom needs to buy gas, and I'm sure she already has gas. But like, yesterday when I was babysitting, and my brother and sister-in-law came back just for a quick lunch break, they were telling me that the gas station that they live near is just fucking packed with people buying gas, and then there was one guy in a truck filled up his car and then filled up 6 like 5-gallon tanks with gas. And like, sir,
That's literally, you're not helping.
you're not helping at all. And
You're
This is the
actually
toilet
making it
paper
worse.
thing all over again.
yeah, it's literally the toilet paper thing happening again, and it's so frustrating because like I get why you're panicked and all, but you don't need to do that.
There's a
Yeah.
shortage of this resource. I better make sure there's more of a shortage of this resource.
Yeah,
It's
So
ridiculous.
I'm not worried about getting gas for my car.
Yeah.
Love of my life. Do we need butter or are we good?
We got butter last time.
Okay.
We got butter last time we did grocery shopping, and we still aren't out of the butter we were almost out of when I asked you to buy butter.
Oh, good. Okay.
So we're good on butter.
We're not out of the butter forest.
What about
Why?
body wash? Because I remember there was that one
Oh
scenario
yeah,
where you were
we
out.
have some we have one thing of body wash left. So yeah, let's get another thing of body wash.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, hi. Also, hi, Kawaii Pigeon. I'm glad you finally
Hi.
were able to make one
Hi.
too.
Hell yeah!
Welcome, Burb.
Welcome.
Welcome, you cute little pigeon.
We got some new faces in the stream today. I know you're like my mutual on Twitter though.
Dude, that sky just opened up. I just heard that.
Ooh, gosh. I hope
Look.
that doesn't affect the stream. I know Tuesday art stream, if something's gonna go wrong, it does, but I really hope we have a good stream today.
No, I
Same.
think I have a good feeling about this stream that it's just gonna be
And
chill.
then we
There might
immediately
be a
go
little
offline.
hiccup. No!
That's what
No.
I was about to say, Emil, you jinxed it.
How dare you?
Also, Emil,
Yeah, what's
can I
up?
ask?
What's up?
Did your dad specifically say fill up the gas tank with gas?
No, he texted me and he was like, fill up the cars and gas cans with gas. And I just looked at the text and I'm just like, whatever, man. And
Okay.
what do you want me to do, sir?
I was just gonna
Your
make the. I was
dad's
just
still
gonna.
out and wherever the fuck he is, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
what
was
the
just gonna
fuck's
make
he gonna do?
the.
Fuck off.
yeah, I
I
know.
was just gonna make the joke of like, what else are you gonna fill them up with?
Yeah, water. That's
Don't fill your gas tank with water, guys.
yeah. That's going to completely ruin all of your engine and your car. Don't
most
do that.
definite-
Actually,
Do not do that.
And most definitely don't fill up your water tanks with gas.
No, don't definitely do not do that.
Okay, we're gonna switch to the actual art screen.
Oh hell yeah!
Now here's the thing. So in the week I've been off, I've also not drawn any.
Oh yeah, I remember because you were like, I want to draw, but then it's like, what draw?
Yeah, so I'm gonna just warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
Holy.
fair.
Oh snap!
Get
What?
Warm up
alcohol.
sketches.
A fucking Kawaii Vision said my mom earlier today said to get alcohol for the car. I
What?
tentatively asked
What?
why the car needed booze. Turns out she meant hand sanitizer.
Oh my god!
Oh. Okay.
To clean up the car, I guess.
Why does the car need booze?
It just wants to party.
The
Leave it
car wants-
alone. Damn.
The car wants to party, clearly.
I'm just gonna
It wants to join in the
some,
fun.
some warm up face sketches because this will at
Yeah.
least get my hand.
Dude, hearing that weather, I'm so glad I did come home early. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I would have hated for you to be driving in this.
I would also have hated you to have been driving in that.
I'm
Because-
like, so like I'm in this very like I call it unfortunate. Like it's like it's a part of like my art quote unquote journey where I'm learning more than I am doing. And like I call that unfortunate because it's like, yeah, I'm learning stuff, but when I get to these portions of like my art, like where I'm supposed to be learning new stuff and like I'm you know not doing as much of the stuff I'm used to, my brain's proverbial feet dig into the ground and it starts struggling and screaming. So the only times I've really been doing art are when I'm doing the art stream.
Right, yeah.
So like I really need to get back into the habit of doing art like all the time, not all the time, but like more often because I need to get past this little bump if I want to continue to like enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, thank you for reminding me. Is it pronounced like Missal or like how is that pronounced? Because I actually need to take my B12.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's a smart
take your
idea.
B12, Logan.
Also, do you have anything to eat after the stream, Logan?
We have food here.
Okay, good.
I can at least make a bowl of cereal. Because we're low on food because it's almost shopping time, but we got food.
Yeah.
I'm
Are you
looking up
happy
an
to roll
Aldi
with?
order right now, by the way, my love. Do you have any requests?
I want soup.
Okay.
I'm kind of craving tomato soup.
Ooh.
On a chicken noodle person.
Oh, Missal. That's how I was saying it earlier, but I
Missal.
wasn't sure if that was correct. How are you doing, by the way?
There we go.
I think I'm gonna do like a quick warm up, Theo,
Yeah.
without looking at his ref sheet.
Yeah.
Love that boy. I'm gonna get some. They have Aldi has its own brand of canned soup,
Ooh.
so I'm gonna grab some.
Oh, I do like their tomato soup.
Logan, I would like to ask you a question.
I would like to answer a question.
So I assume it's like an actual name, but where did you get the name Theo from?
It is short for Theodore.
But it is not short for Theodore.
he claims it's not short for Theodore. But technically Theo as a name is short, like, for Theodore most of the time, but when he named himself because he's trans, he was just like, I'm just Theo.
I didn't. Okay, that actually didn't occur to me. Because I've heard the name Theo elsewhere, and whenever I have, I've always done a double take.
Yeah, it's short. It's like if it's like a feminine name, it's short for Theodora, but if it's like a masculine name, it's short for Theodore.
All doors.
All doors.
Oops, all doors.
Oops, all doors.
Oops, all doors.
More door?
Oh no, not the
More
not the
door.
doors.
More door.
Oh no.
Oh, Mordor, I get it. Like the video game,
What?
and nothing else.
Yeah.
How do you feel about some of the as a treat, the chocolate brioche bread?
Oh, that sounds really good. I would like that.
The more doors
Okay.
there are, the more shadows there are. The
Um,
shadows of more doors.
Yeah.
do you need to get food, Missile? If you're hungry.
Because if you do, first and foremost, food is important.
Yeah, please take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The stream is
Shove
not
the
going
food in your
anywhere
mouth.
for the next 3 hours. Hopefully, if the storm doesn't kick out the internet.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
Knock on.
I lift a
Oh,
hand and I touch Destiny fondly.
I don't
Ah,
have
fuck.
I don't have any wood to hand. My desk is made of glass. It's the floor.
So that's my thing tomorrow. Is tomorrow I should probably kick off the season with Destiny before we do the stream.
Yeah.
Do you need me to send? Do you have money to buy the thing, babe?
I have like $20.
Okay, it's only $10.
Yeah, so I should be able to do it.
I live.
Is
Hi,
Dee?
Dee.
Hi.
Finally
Hi.
leave.
Yeah, my brother and I were. Yeah, hello, my brother and I were blabbing. So.
Were we
Is
all
that why you were
always,
muted?
Hey, your family. Don't forget. You got to
Yeah.
take care of your family too.
Yeah.
Ah. Giant Brig, don't kill me challenge.
What if I got the rats some baby food as a treat?
Oh, I'm sure they would love that. I still need to give them the cottage cheese.
Yeah, you do. I'll get them some of those little baby foods things. They got puffs for like $1. Aldi's cheap as shit.
Hell yeah.
What is the stuff that was good for male rats again?
I know they can't have any oranges.
Yeah, they can't have citrus.
That is such
Which I
a
have to go
really
make sure.
thing. That like male rats cannot have such specified for females.
It's actually it's good for females to have it because it's in male rats it can lead to testicular cancer, but in female rats it can prevent ovarian cancer.
Huh.
Let's not use the C word, please.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Excuse me a second.
There we go.
I can hear Gloria downstairs barking.
Okay.
Oh, I
I
will
will be
tell
right
the boys. Kawaii Pigeon
Boys.
says that they love you.
Boys, I love my boys.
I stream in the same room. I stream in the same room that the rats are in, so sometimes you'll hear them loudly drink water.
Aw.
Blip, 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 blip.
Also, yes, female rats can have some vitamin C as a treat.
Just as a treat.
As a treat.
I'm really liking this new exotic sidearm.
I need to get back into playing Destiny. I'm really gonna have to like focus on this season because I straight up like I ignored last season, and this season has all the stuff I actually wanted to play with.
Well, you know, last season was very Cabal heavy, which is a big Julia thing. So
yeah, and it's like I love Julia. I have no interest in the Cabal like as a race.
dude, you're so valid for real. Like, why does he keep trying to make me unfollow you? No, that's my husband. I'm not unfollowing my husband on Twitch. Bitch.
Twitch is like, you seeing this shit? You want to unfollow?
No, I live with him. Yeah, no, like the thing too is like Julia's very much just like I mean, like, in our canon, for those of you who don't know, like, we have a roleplay server for Destiny, and we have our own canon. Julia was the one who is Theo's twin who did the Red War, which was both a huge kind of, like, come to what is it called? Like a maturing, coming of age thing for her.
Yeah.
But also very traumatizing.
Because it was the Red War.
Yeah, because it was the Red War. And the lives of all of humanity were in her tiny little Titan hands. And that was terrifying. So the season of The Chosen focused on the Cabal again, and I told the group, I was like, Julia will not be the main hero in this season because Julia has already, back when we started building this roleplay server, there's only 4 of us. So our characters dished out a lot of D2 together. So Julia's main thing was the Red War, and then she and Key Lime did Forsaken together, and some other stuff. And so I was like, Julia, because now we have more people, obviously I don't want to hoard seasons because I want other people to have their own characters in the spotlight. So Julia during Season of the Chosen was not the hero of Season of the Chosen, but she was like an advisor on the council to deal with the Cabal because of how much she dealt with them during the Red War. And I also was like, she needs to participate in the last fight, which was when you fought for Zavala's, like, basically his freedom, because Julia admires Zavala heavily. That's like a very big parental and leadership figure in her life.
Yeah.
So that was the only mission she went on. But she stood as an advisor during Season of the Chosen. For this season, I think she's just stepping the fuck back. She's like, nope, we're good. Keitel's dealt with. We're in an armistice. Crow has been revealed. Who's my buddy? I'm out. I think she also did Season of the Hunt because she was the one, because I told them I wanted her to be the one to choose to let Crow go. And all of us were like, yeah, that fits, Jules.
Yeah.
So she's taken a big step back. Because she tries to carry the world on her shoulders, and the rest of the characters are like, please put some of it down, please.
Put some of that world down.
Put it down.
World down.
You're already short. Don't make yourself shorter by carrying the world. I fell.
You are 5'3", you
Goodbye,
little tiny Titan. Yeah, like that's one of the things too, is like Dragon, is that we don't want to destroy the characters, but if they come across, especially with a game like Destiny where it's so easy to, if you play your character as the guardian who does everything, like there is going to be way more trauma there than you can handle.
Oh yeah.
So it's super easy for us to like dole it out and make it a little easier for all of us to not just share the fun trauma, but also like the spotlight. Because like Shadowkeep was Theo's big thing. Because he dealt with the Hive, and the Hive was part of his major trauma.
Yeah, Theo is like, okay, like if you follow any of like my art, my Twitter, you will see a lot of Theo. Theo is like, I would call him like basically my main OC when it comes to like any kind of game or like anything. I usually make an AAU for Theo specifically because I like playing him a lot. He has he's dealt with like a lot in terms of like Destiny, because in Destiny he was rezzed in the New Pacific Arcology, which was a place that existed in the game before like they got rid of a lot of content. And the New Pacific Arcology was an old human like settlement, I guess, on the moon Titan. And it was overrun and infested by Hive. He was rezzed there right before the start of the Red War. And during the Red War, every Guardian lost their light. So I think we said like he was only like awake for maybe a few hours before all of the Guardians lost their light. So he went through, I called it basically, he went through survival horror.
For the first year of his life.
For the first whole year of his life. And that was like, you know, that's like kind of a formative experience. Like you go through that, and that's going to inform the way that you do everything for the rest of your life, basically. So he's very like survival oriented, but he's also like extremely anxious all the time. I very much didn't want to go with the kind of like survivalist badass type character with him. I wanted it to be like one of those things where like he lived through this, but it was by the skin of his teeth. He's not like extremely good at stuff. He just like had to live. He was desperate to live. So, yeah, he's very, very important to me as like a character, and I love him a lot.
It's my twin.
Hey.
Julia and Theo are our favorites.
Yeah, Theo and Julia are just very good in general.
Thank you.
They're good twins.
Thank you.
They're a great pair of characters.
We like to play around with them a lot because they're similar and you can tell that they're related and that they're twins, but they're also like the way they handle stuff is just enough to the left of each other that it's like you guys definitely developed differently. There we go.
Oh yeah, it's like you were definitely related before you died, but you definitely like went through much different stuff after you came back.
Yeah. Also, there are trans tiny titan twins.
There are tiny trans titan twins. Because Theo is 4'10.5", and Julia's 5'3", and Titans are like the tank class in Destiny.
Yeah, they are wonderful.
Julia's staring up at Gull. I may not be able to reach your face, so I'm going to end you with a nut punch. And then she did it.
And then she did
it.
That's so good.
It is.
I am going to have to like sit down and read and get caught up with Disney stuff.
Oh
okay,
yeah.
So I highly recommend if you want to watch stuff. My name is Biff. B-Y-F.
I think it's pronounced beef.
Is it beef?
I think it's beef.
I've heard him say it. I've heard him say bife.
Okay, it might be bife.
It's not important.
He does videos on the lore, and he actually has a video that he puts out every so often called Destiny Lore Up Until This Point. And obviously, because it's Destiny lore up until this point, it just gets longer with every season.
I think the last like one was like 4 hours long.
It's super long. The good news is I came in to the roleplay server with only knowledge of D2. I still don't have any knowledge of D1. I know Crota was a thing. I know he got bitch slapped. I know the Taken War happened. Mara died, but not really. Shit fucking happened. Anyways, so D2 is really, I think, what we need to focus on with you. And it's actually, the good thing is, because a lot of us know D2 lore, it's very easy to ask us, hey, what the fuck? And we'll just go, yes.
You can even be like me and only have a passing understanding of most lore and only like really look up things that you're specifically interested in, and you'll still get by.
Yeah.
And then it can be me who knows jack shit. And because
I am currently you right now.
Because like the ones that I've like specifically looked up, and now that I'm done with my warm-ups, I can actually start on designing. The ones that I like specifically looked up is I looked up Cade's lore. I looked up lore about Andal Brask, and I watched My Name is Bife. He did a thing on the Books of Sorrow, which is like the Hive lore, and I watched all of them. They're really fucking good. Unfortunately, he did not finish the series.
But what you get out of it is worth it.
Yeah.
And see, I looked up Ikora lore, and now we're finally getting more Zavala lore, so I'm so excited about that. It's canon that Zavala had a mortal wife, so that's extremely sad.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Poor Zavala.
Oh, thank you, Missile.
Thanks, Missile.
Thank you.
That's Theo. That's the boy. That's our boy.
That's
my twin.
boy.
Obviously the Elixni lore is really good too to know, especially if you're like Logan who plays Edicrax or plays a Elixni.
Yeah, if you play like an Elixni. I specifically play an Elixni Guardian, which is not technically lore friendly, but whatever.
I can do what I
It's
want.
our roleplay server, and if I want to have a Scion Warlock flower, I have a Scion Warlock flower.
Okay, so this first one is the Draconic Angel, which I kind of wanted to go for a vibe of like, what if an Aasimar was also like a Draconic like sorcerer?
Eat well, Jazzy.
Eat well,
Yeah,
Jazzy.
Eat well, Jazzy.
I made a bagel too. I misspelled bagel so hard there. Jesus.
Bagels.
Bagels.
Like the
I
dog.
spelled it begals.
Begals.
That's how Kara spells bagels. I almost said bagels. Like she does.
Bagels.
Yeah.
You want some mini bagels?
I would like some mini bagels, yes.
Alright, I got some mini bagels.
I'd rather a mini beagle.
I
Not
want
to eat
bagels
just a
and
pet.
cream cheese now.
I want bagels and lox right now. Give me lox right now. Ah.
Lots. I never had that before.
So
It's
big thing is bagels, cream cheese, and then lox, which is a specific type of smoked salmon, and you put it all together. And trust me, I know it sounds weird, but the smokiness and the creaminess,
actually got me to like salmon.
Yeah,
it's
that
so
doesn't sound
good.
weird at all. That sounds actually
No.
really good.
No,
It's
because
really good.
I can't remember. Nope, I can't remember, so I'm not gonna say it because I don't remember. Fuck. My memory is doing
Looks
very
like
well
looks like the future war cult's
no,
gonna
Neil,
be
your memory.
It's fine.
Oh yeah, fucking Talia was going off about that. I think.
Yeah, see, it's
I think.
yeah.
He was posting some screen caps, and I
Lakshmi?
was like, I think that's Fluke, because
Lakshmi, I don't know how to say her name. The leader of the future war cult. She is showing up and doing stuff, and now Sprite has gotten to that part too. And I'm like, ooh, are the factions coming back? Because I'm very excited to see the factions come back.
that would be cool if they did
I
something
need
cool
to
with
be
them.
back. I need a drink.
Be safe.
Be safe. I am just excited. I know they recasted her, and I will never not be upset about it. But the woman that got to play her sounds similar enough to Gina Torres
Mm-hmm.
that if you weren't paying attention, she could pass as the same voice actress.
Yeah.
I'm just excited that we're getting Ikora again. Like I know for a fact that she's probably super busy. Because Gina Torres does like real acting as well.
Yeah.
Not real acting, but you know what I mean, like in-person acting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she does more
so
than just voice
she's-
acting.
Yeah, she does more than just voice acting, and she's also a mother. So
Yeah.
with everything going on, I'm sure she's just busy. But that was and like maybe her contract was up and she didn't want to renew, because that's what happened with Sagira's voice actor, Monica Bellucci, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Her contract ran out, and then they couldn't fit in the cutscene they wanted to do of Sagira, dying
Yeah.
because of the pandemic. So they ended up having to reduce it to a lore tab, which is why I'm really glad they were able to recast Ikora, because she's a big player.
Yeah.
Like, and we cannot lose another Vanguard. I swear to God, we can't lose another Vanguard.
Yeah.
I can't do it, boys.
Yeah, we already we got 2.
No, Pigeon, I don't think that's why they killed her. I think that's why they reduced, because they had 3D models of Sagira's ghost fucked up made. I think that's why they reduced her death to a lore tab instead of renewing her contract, is because they ran out of time.
It really does seem like they were already planning to kill her. And they just couldn't get the actor in order to do the scene.
And they couldn't because of the pandemic hit. Probably they couldn't get their animators to get things done for that bit in time. Because the big part of the pandemic was when they should have been, or where they would have been, I should say, animating and getting that cutscene done.
Yeah.
And that was probably before everybody was, able to fully work from home, and they weren't able to get everything set up by that time, because I think it takes about a year to get that kind of stuff ready.
Yeah.
And that would have been like the start of the pandemic here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, the Backstreet Boys reunion. Does Twitter have the same, or does Twitch have the same thing as YouTube?
I mean, I
Twitter.
don't think so.
Okay.
I don't really think, like, I mean, also we're kind of a small stream, so I don't know if it was like a thing. I don't think we get pinged on it.
Yeah.
Fair point.
I'm really missed.
I also miss Cade. I know why they killed him. I know they're following. So, like, the cool thing about Destiny is that it's very cyclical.
They killed him.
It actively works in like this cycle. And you can see it especially with like the Hunter Vanguards, how the same thing kind of happens with them almost every time.
Yeah, like they get a little too stir crazy, so they
leave on their own,
and they make rash decisions, which ends up getting them killed.
Yeah. So I understand why they killed Cade. Huh?
I was just saying that, like, having played that myself, that was a pretty rash decision Cade made.
Yeah, well, like, the thing is, too, is, like, he left them a note. He didn't even tell them he was leaving. Like, he didn't tell the Vanguard. He left them a note and then booked it. So, like, his team, his fire team couldn't even come to the rescue if they wanted to, and I'm sure they did, but they didn't know.
Yeah.
He just was like, we're going out, bye. And that's
he wasn't really like it wasn't like he was trapped there. I don't think anybody was like holding him there, but the Vanguard did not approve of him going out on missions on his own.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah, for obvious reasons. But like as a hunter, like it seems to be a thing that hunters tend to be like compelled to do these big, like, grand stuff. Like they want to go out and scout. They're supposed to be the class that goes out and finds the new stuff and handles things and handles threats, and like you send in a hunter before you send in a titan, basically.
They're the rogues.
Yeah.
To put it simply, very simply.
Okay. They get in, they see what's going on, they get out. They're basically like the scout class. And as a Vanguard, you're not allowed to do that kind of thing anymore. You're not allowed to go out and adventure. You have to stay and do your fucking paperwork and do.
Or you go out with your fire team, because we do have examples of the fire team going together.
Yeah, but it's like such a rare thing, because like it seems like in recent years the Vanguard's been pretty much just stuck in the city.
Yeah. Well,
because they really can't.
In recent years have been awful too.
Yeah, because they really can't afford to go anywhere. People need them there. So it's like, Cade as a hunter, he had all these like hunter like instincts. He had these urges to like go out and see things and do things. And as a Vanguard, he wasn't allowed to. So of course he would make stupid decisions.
And stupid gets you killed.
Yeah.
He was not getting the enrichment he needed.
Has the Vanguard tried filling a pumpkin full of raw beef so Cade can roll it around its enclosure?
Like the really fun thing about the subclasses is they actively work well together. People think of like when they think of a perfect fire team, they think of a hunter, a warlock, and a titan all together.
Yeah,
because they have their strengths and their benefits, and then their weaknesses are balanced by the other people's strengths.
Yeah.
And so when you have a single hunter, even if he is the hunter Vanguard, even if he is Cade 6, like, death comes for us all, especially in a situation like this where it's just
yeah,
and then like the Scorn, and then you've got the Barons who had personal grudges against Cade, all of them, and then you just kind of end up with what we got, which was Cade dying. And not to mention the mixed metaphor, the mixed lore about what can and cannot kill a ghost.
Yeah.
So it's just it's wild.
Yeah.
Which go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No.
Oh, I was just gonna say which season of The Chosen was actually the ending cutscene was actually really interesting to me because so obviously the sniper did not kill Zavala's ghost. We saw that. It locked it put it in a stasis lock essentially, and that took Zavala's light while it was enclosed, which begs the question of if Zavala had been killed and the ghost had been released, like would the ghost have been able to bring them back?
I thought the implication was like no in that case, because like it was like if a guardian lost their light during the Red War and died, but the ghost survived, they couldn't just then bring the guardian back because they lost the connection entirely.
Yeah, like that's what I was thinking. Is like, are we going back off of the Red War logic, which it sounds like it was, which makes it very, very dangerous. Like you don't even have to kill a ghost anymore in order to kill a guardian. You just have to, sever that connection just long enough. Which begs the question of, like, I don't remember if we ever found out like who ordered the assassination. I don't think we found that out yet.
Questions
indeed.
Riddles in the
answers
dark.
we need.
Thank you.
Grubs. They're not drones. They have their own personalities.
Yeah, grubs.
Oh, I think he just meant like
sentient.
drone is on like little floating robot thing.
I know what he meant. I'm just saying they're very they have their own personalities. They're
Oh, they have
sapient.
funny personality.
I kiss my ghost. I mean, honestly, half the fun of making a Guardian OC is making their ghost.
Yeah, if you make a Guardian OC, you have to make 2 OCs.
Yeah.
The ghosts are so cute. I love them.
If you make a Guardian OC, you have to make 2 OCs. If you decide to make a fire team, you got to make 6 to 12.
Depending on how big the fire team is.
6 to 12.
Yeah.
Because if it's a fire team of 3, you got to make the 3 guardians and their ghosts. If it's a fire team of 6, you got to make the 6 guardians and their ghosts.
And it's so much fun. Like I have such a variety of ghosts. Like we got Istis, we got Lilith. We got Lilith.
Okay.
I got Lilith.
Is there anything in Destiny that's called a ghoul?
What?
A ghoul?
So I don't know if this is Psyche's like projection or like Psyche like making things up, or if this is like actual canon. But Psyche's Elixni OC has referred to guardians as ghouls before.
Oh, okay. That's good, actually.
So
yeah,
I
from
think
that one discussion in the...
That was the exact thing I was going to bring up. A counterpart to a ghost called a ghoul.
Yeah, apparently, if this is true, I'm not sure that it is, but apparently some Elixni may call guardians ghouls. Because I mean, like you got to think about it from their perspective, because they're not like evil like how the Hive are, and they're not like evil the way the Vex are. Like they're just like a people trying to survive. From their perspective, humanity is like a race that stole their god from them, basically. And then also on top of that, they have a legion of undead soldiers.
I know that the fanatic constantly refers to us as dead thing.
Yeah, like...
Yeah.
That's cool.
Guardians from like
never fails to remind us of that.
Yeah, like from fucking Elixni perspective, Guardians are like undead monsters.
Zombies.
Yeah. Monsters with
guns. And we got spoiler alert, we got a hint of something related to that today with when we saw the little Elixnis.
Yeah.
One of the Misrax came to meet us, and one of the ones who was helping him protect the mothers was like, how do you know you can trust the Guardian? Like, how do we know we can trust them? And Mr. X goes, I don't, but the light is with them. And I was like, oh.
Oh.
Which also brings up the fact that, we do just kind of show up and they start killing us and we start killing them, and sometimes we'll just snipe them out of trees, like.
Yeah, I really do like the recent push by like Bungie's writers to just remind us constantly that the Elixir are people.
They are.
Yeah.
They're people.
They really are.
Which is so much better than, I know those of you who started late didn't get to play the Red War, but when we played the Red War and it went under the assumption that you'd never played Destiny before, which was good for people like me who came in on D2.
Yeah.
They were like Fallen, they're space pirates, they steal everything they can get their hands on. Like Ghost tells you that.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we learn about them and we hear that they're pirates and they steal humanity's stuff, and it's like, ooh, and then like now it's like, dude, they're just little bug friends.
Yeah, and then you find out why
technically they're crab
stealing.
friends.
Technically they're crab friends.
Because it's like stealing just for stealing, yeah, is also fun, but there's almost always a reason.
Yeah, the reason they steal from us is because they literally they use the stuff that they steal they usually use to fuel their servitors, which convert it into like ether.
Which maybe Fallen need to survive.
Yeah, because like glimmer is like literally like programmable matter. Like that's why it's valuable. That's why it's like the new currency. It's not because it's like because it's not like
the new resource.
Yeah, it's not like it's just like fake money. It's like it's stuff that you can literally turn into whatever the hell you need. And which is like in a post-apocalyptic world, that's extremely valuable. So like the reason the Elixir are constantly trying to take it is because they can literally turn it into food.
That is actually one of the funniest things.
They just want food, man.
Be safe, Dragon. Enjoy your dinner.
Be safe.
Bye,
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, it was so fun to have you.
It was nice to have you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for stopping by Planet Cupid.
Do you even know they were real, or do we just imagine that dragon?
Thank you, Logan.
You're welcome.
I think Thank you, Grubs.
Thank you, Grubs.
I think my favorite thing whenever I make a silly joke like that is just the moment of dead silence.
Care.
Sorry, that's our quiet collective frustration.
I'm also really excited. Oh, dude, the opening scene today too. Like it's like Cora looking at the Traveler, and then you see this in the trailer, so it's not really a spoiler. And then like Osiris comes up and stands next to her and looks at the Traveler with her, and it's just such a good fucking moment. It's such a good moment. It's like Cora and her dad again. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, that's so good.
Fucking love Ikora and her dad.
Okay, so I got
me pointing a gun at every single person who ever wrote Ikora Osiris fanfiction.
Die.
Osiris is officially referred to Saint as his partner, or Saint has referred to Osiris as his partner. One way or the other. You owe me $200 and the emotional trauma of having to look at the Osiris / Ikora tag. Pay me. Pay me.
Give me my money out.
I keep forgetting every time you use the computer, you turn the numpad off.
Oh yeah, sorry, I use that for scrolling, my bad.
See, I use it for numbers.
Optimal here, just random.
For you newcomers, Logan is my husband, and we live in the same house, so I use the computer because it's mine.
Yeah, they actually bought it. I use it for streaming. It's not like
I broke into his house or anything.
I used to use my laptop for streaming. The very first like 4 or 5 streams were on my laptop. And then Moss was like, you can use the desktop to stream, and I was like, cool. And the moment they were like, you can use the desktop to stream, my laptop broke.
He was like holding it in his breath. It was just like, oh, thank God, and then died.
I can die now.
Heard is like, finally,
Finally.
Embrace.
Finally.
But I know that, like, so you said you wanted. So here's a fun thing. For you, D. You said you wanted Raiden to be a Stormcaller, right?
Yeah.
So canonically, before, if your guardian is a Stormcaller, they are the first Stormcaller in literal decades because the Stormcallers were wiped out. They went the way of the Sunbreakers. I guess the Sunbreakers went the way of them. So like your Stormcallers are very extremely rare.
They're very rare, very new.
Callers are rare.
They have been wiped out.
Bzzzt.
Because like none for centuries, and then suddenly, because like I was looking at the thing, I was like, these two really suit Raiden and Fujin, so I'll pick that. And me not knowing anything.
Yeah, right. It's so much fun. It's like I don't know, fucking pick something.
Okay. They're
And then
rare
you
now.
actually find stuff that fits.
Because like the Stormcallers were something different in D1, and so were the hunters that do
The art. No. You're thinking of the Dawnblades. The Dawnblades were something way different in D1, and they were super overpowered. You could res yourself during like, you had one free res basically, especially if you're like if instead of a super, you got a free res, which during Crucible, if you used it, basically took away the point for your death.
Broken.
Yeah, it was super OP. It was like super OP.
Wait, weren't Arc Hunters something different too?
Yeah, our hunters were called Blade Dancers.
It's
I
almost
think.
like
Let me double check. D1 Arc Hunters. They were called something else. Yeah,
it's
Blade
almost
Dancers.
like
I was
res
right. Okay.
abilities. It's almost like res abilities in multiplayer games are really broken and probably shouldn't be in them.
So you could.
What'd you
yeah,
say?
it was.
Oh, it's nothing.
No, like what were you talking? No, literally, I did not hear you.
Oh, I said that because of what Moss was saying. I was saying that like it's almost like res abilities in multiplayer games are really broken and they shouldn't be there. And then I coughed and said mercy.
Okay, no, I will
Fuck you, I'm a
actually,
mercy
I will
man.
literally
Choke.
actually fight you on that.
High five, Logan.
Here's the thing. Mercy, before all of her fucking reworks, she was actually a really good and viable character. The only reason that people hated her was because they couldn't get good. They didn't know how to like focus on the healer. And so they got pissed off that the healer healed things.
They were so mad. They were so like I learned how to survive and hide because nobody would focus me. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna kill the tanks," and I was like, "You thought?" Instead of focusing the healer. It's a team-based game. You have to play some strategy into it.
Yeah, you can't just be shooting whatever's in front of you.
Yeah.
And they were so determined. Now and then like even back when
Mercy's
Valkyrie
reworks
got
are
the
actually part of the reason I stopped playing.
Yeah, they're like, and even when Valk gave you one free res, or when you had insta res, or when you had invulnerability during like for 2 seconds during insta res, she was still viable. Now, I mean, she's still a good pick, but like, there's not much to her because I get one res every 30 seconds. Like, yeah, I still have 500 hours on Mercy. Fuck off. I know how to survive with her. But like, it's just so hard now to really like, you can't solo heal as Mercy as much, which just fucking sucks. Or like, people will be like, res me when I just res somebody right in front of them. I'm just like,
sorry, can't do that for you.
sorry, what do you want me to do, dude?
Sorry,
My skill has to
pal.
recharge.
Like, if you just focus the healers like you're supposed to do, once you take out supports, then you go for the team.
Fucking
Yeah.
DPS just don't know how to fucking play the game, and then they complain because like, oh, this makes it harder for me to DPS. It's like, dude,
No,
get
literally
good.
use your fucking eyes. Think about it for a second.
Like, you do some tactics. Get
Think
fucking
about
good.
it. Like that's why like when there's a good widow on the opposite team, I can't heal because that sniper is always right at my forehead. That's why I've learned to jump around so much. or like heal around corners. Like I've had to adapt based off of good snipers. I can even outlast most tracers when they come at me because I just go boom, 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 boing.
Yeah.
Now you get me against a tank. If you get a tank and a DPS on a healer, most of the time you're gonna get them, like 90% of the time.
Yeah.
But you just have to focus. You have to focus. You have to work with your team. You have to call out where healers are. Like, also, there's just like I don't know. It wobbles on communication in Overwatch because like I try to do call outs and stuff like that, but like half the time it's just it feels like nobody listens. And I'm also not, what's the word, I'm not ignorant about my placement. I have placed platinum on PC and diamond in PS4. Like I know I'm not a top 500 player. I know I'm not even a master's level player. But it goes to, it improves your game greatly when you make call outs, you follow through on those call outs, and you make sure that a team can't heal. Ana, for instance, is fucking invaluable. Like you get a good purple nade. Oh, dude. They're dead.
Like you have, like I will give you this, Moss. Like you I think your game placement is mostly like aim and reaction time. I think like you have an insanely good game sense.
I can call when people are about to use their ults.
Yeah, like I think you have very good game sense.
Yeah, you have a very good understanding of how the game works and things like that.
I have my reaction time is better than my aim, which is why I typically don't play characters that require aim. I have very bad hand-eye coordination. Like I have terrible hand-eye coordination. I'll admit that to you in a heartbeat. That's why I fucking bump into everything on God's green earth.
Yeah, that's why I play fucking Reinhardt and like Junkrat mostly for those, or I did when I played the game.
Yeah,
my mains were Junkrat and Reinhardt because those are the two characters where your aim don't mean shit or dick.
Speaking actually of Junkrat, and also speaking of Widowmaker when you brought her up in the game, I mentioned this in the server, but earlier I was playing a game and it was King of the Hill, and I was playing Junkrat, and we were on overtime at like 99%. And I was just like, oh well, we've basically won. So I just did the Junkrat like lounging, like lying down pose for like the last like 20 seconds. But then like the Widowmaker like sniped me, and I was like, and then I pointed out in the chat like, you probably should have shot someone that was actually defending the point.
Yeah.
And then they started raging at me like, what's your deal? And I was like, nothing. I was just trying to give you advice.
Yeah, like maybe you should have hit somebody that was actually moving.
Like seriously, like it's not like I was the only person there. There was a ton of other people there. There was a Roadhog right next to me, and I was like, did you not?
They're just trying to get their fucking KD up.
Maybe.
Yep. I will tell you right now, Pigeon. Overwatch as a game, it's a game.
Overwatch is one of the most games I've ever seen in my life.
I enjoyed it a lot for a very long time. I know it's like an evolving game. I just didn't care for most of the reworks that they did. I didn't care for Mercy's rework. I didn't care for like a lot of the like newer content. It was just like it stopped being fun for me after the focus very clearly became esports.
Yeah, like once the Overwatch League Owl started popping off, they were like, okay, well we have to make this game more viable for Owl, and it like turned a game that was actually pretty good for the everyday player into
like, if you're
esports.
not like basically if you're not like going into it for esports, you half the time might as well not be playing. At least if you're solo queuing. I'm sure it's still fun if you like have a big group together and you're like going in with a group. But because like, you know, playing games with your friends is always more fun than not. But
yeah,
but it just stopped being fun to solo in it, you know.
Yeah.
Like I will sometimes solo during like events, especially like I do love playing arcade, because most of the time in arcade you're just there to have fun. Arcade is like a nobody gives a shit kind of thing. But like God,
Yeah.
Logan, do you remember when Diva's bomb would kill herself?
Yeah. I
God.
remember I would actually like strategic like I would place my bomb just so it would blow me up.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know Logan, fun new rework for you that actually went through.
Mhm.
You know how when you called Diva's mech down, it didn't do a lot of damage, but it did like 50 damage?
Yeah.
You wanna know how much damage it did as of I think 2 weeks ago? 250.
Oh my god.
That's like several characters.
Oh my god.
Oh.
So like
That-
some people are now just like sneaking up next to people and calling their mechs, and I'm like, this would be funny if it had stayed just an April Fool's prank, but
Yeah.
They kept
it went through.
They kept it.
I don't know. I don't know why they integrated changes in a freaking April Fool's prank.
It is several grubs. There are plenty of people with 250 HP.
Yeah, that's like
what was
a what like fucking
Isn't that
Roadhog's
like most?
250.
Well, I think what he means is like as opposed to several. That's like most of the characters. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
that is most of the characters.
Uh-huh.
It's debatable on the armor because some armor can take a little bit more of a hit than regular HP can.
What kind of bird should I take inspo for the Draconic Origin Sorcerer sub?
A barn owl.
Barn owl.
Yeah.
Also, Rip Zenyatta for still having 150 shields.
Whatever that black and red cockatoo is.
No, wait, a bearded vulture.
Cyclonus?
Bearded vulture wings.
Oh, that's my Cyclonus is like when we have like Dragon AUs or whatever, I took a lot of
Yeah.
inspo for
Yeah.
with the bearded.
I have a
Bearded vultures are
Transformer
really cool.
associate. He's a beast former. His name's Tibia, and he turns into a bearded vulture.
Aww.
I love Tibia. You're
Oh, because they eat bones.
Yeah, he can eat bones.
Mhm.
What was I gonna say? One change that I wish they did actually keep from the April Fools was the thing that they did for Roadhog's hook. If you hook someone, the recharge time is lowered, but if you miss, the recharge time is increased.
Oh, neat.
And I remember the description was like, if Roadhog misses, he'll lose motivation, therefore taking longer to recharge.
I think I am gonna go with Bearded Vulture because they're kind of dragony, and I think that fits.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hell yeah.
Kawaii Pigeon suggested a blue jay. You can
I'm-
separate it one.
Bloody.
I might do a blue jay for the cherry blossom druid. Cause that's so the three Aasimar that I'm going to be doing, I'm doing Draconic Angel, which is it's like the idea behind it in my head is a Draconic Origin sorcerer who is also an Aasimar, so they take kind of design inspo from like both dragons and angels. And then the other two that I'm doing are Cherry Blossom Druid, which is a kind of more a druidy Aasimar with like specific design traits taken from cherry blossoms and like pink pastel kind of things. And then the third one would be the Winged Circus Bard, which is going to be like a ringmaster type bardy Aasimar,
I'm back.
which I thought would be really good.
Yeah.
Is it?
Hi, Jazzy.
Is it a
I think that one could be very much a magpie, because I don't know why, but Corbin's just give me mischievous vibes.
Oh yeah. I was really thinking magpie for that one as well.
I mean, brain celled.
Is it a coincidence or not?
Sorry, I just got
that...
back.
Oh, that's
You're
okay.
fine.
Is it a coincidence or not that Aasimar sound like ASMR?
I think it's a coincidence. I used to call them ASMR as a joke. So whenever they would come up in a D&D conversation, especially with Paul, because sometimes when you say things wrong, Paul will get a little bit annoyed. Whenever we were having a conversation with Paul about D&D, I would call Aasimar ASMR.
It is fun to say, though.
Grubs said in the chat because he...
Yeah, I just read it. So I was in game and couldn't talk. It may have been mentioned, but Bastion is the only non-tank who does not get one shot by Calmech. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Because he has 300, doesn't he?
Unfortunately.
So I
can we nerf Bastion? It feels like okay, like I haven't played it in like 2 or 3 years now, but it feels like the community the community is like constantly asking, hey, can we please nerf Bastion? And fucking Blizzard just keeps making him stronger.
Your calls for action only make me stronger.
Or as Bastion would say it, beep whoop beep beep.
Beep beep boop.
I love Bastion as a character. I hate Bastion as a hero.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, what
was I going to say? That was the kind of thing that I was saying about Mercy's Resurrect earlier, is that like it's mainly frustrating when it's something like, oh, there's a Bastion like camping in one spot and like we finally kill him. Oh, the Mercy revived him immediately. Great. Now we have to do this all over again.
Get good.
Get good, kill the Mercy.
Yeah.
You always kill the healer before you kill anybody else. If the Mercy's up, you target her.
Yeah, because the Mercy couldn't possibly be hiding and then immediately throw herself at the Bastion in order to trade.
That's just good strats.
Yeah, that's just good. Yeah,
exactly.
That's why that's your
bullshit.
That's like your characters like Genji, characters like Hanzo, like anybody who's like made to be kind of like sneaky. They're supposed to like go find the healers that are hiding. Like that's their whole job.
I feel like
they're
broken my ass, girls. Get good.
Like if your guys like aren't if you don't have people on your team going off to find the healers, then you need a better team. But
speaking of Genji, something else that happened earlier was a Genji like jumped in front of me as I was shooting and did the deflect, but I just stopped and he like moved around and I was just
yeah,
like,
you heard me.
Oh, he's very angry that like I stopped, that I'm not shooting at him.
Oh, that's my favorite thing to do, dude. I'll just sit there and stare. Or like when Azaria does her bubble and I just stop shooting at her, I can see the frustration. As someone who plays Zarya, it's just like, dude, come on. Keep shooting at me, little bastard. Now, if you're doing a lot of damage, like with a Bastion, it is worth it just to keep shooting at her because you'll pop her little bubble in no time. But if you're doing just like a pea shooter,
the bubble in one shot.
Yeah, but sometimes if you're not alone, it's worth using the bubble, because you can back out.
Yeah.
But if you're alone and that fucking Roadhog pops your bubble, fucking good luck, bitches.
Just like, whoop.
Like I Roadhog was my other one that I used to play a lot, and my favorite thing was just like I would constantly like spam the healing button even when it was down, because like then the moment cooldown ended on it would just immediately pop it, so I was just like constantly healing myself, and during really bad matches I would have gold healing.
Dude, I swear I will fight. Like it's so fun playing healer because like first of all I'm just a damn good healer, but like I don't think I've gotten silver healing unless I joined a game late in like 40,000 years.
That sounds
because
right.
Like
one time though I did get one. I love the glitch with Blizzard where you can get like one healing as Diva, because I got it the other day. I think I was streaming to either Emil or Soul, but I was
Ooh.
like, wait a second, this don't add up.
Just don't
Wait,
make
how do
no
you-
sense.
Hold on.
Wait, how do you get healing as Diva?
Bitch, your good guess is as good as mine.
One time I got a glitch and I
Oh,
had like silver healing as Junkrat, and I was so confused. I was like, "How did this happen?"
Hello.
Hi,
It's so funny. It's like I don't play Overwatch and I'm not very familiar with the lore. But the second I saw Junkrat, I was like, that one. I like that one.
He's very fun.
That was Logan's reaction too.
That one I like.
So like the reason I played Overwatch at all, I started playing Overwatch because I watched this video called "The Best Character in Overwatch." It's Pi Cosmonaut Variety Hour.
God, I think I've seen that before.
No, you just played Junkrat. Just play Junkrat. It always works. He's the best character in the game. Wake up,
My dream is to have a
America.
team of just.
Wake up,
My dream is to have
sheeple.
just a team of just Junkrat.
And
Oh my
so,
God.
Me too, buddy.
so
Oh my God, I'm just...
I started playing Overwatch because of that video, and for a while I was a one trick with just Junkrat.
For some reason, just like the team of only Junkrats, my first thought was like hearing 6 Junkrats go fire in the hole simultaneously.
Yeah, no,
I
actually managed to get that once.
Oh my God.
I remember that. Oh, that was so much fun.
It was back when regular queue you could double up. So
Yeah, quick play, back original
Yeah,
quick
and
play.
it
We've
was-
been playing for a long time.
it was me, Moss, and then our friends Glitch and Glitch's husband Ben. So there was 4 of us, and we would only ever get like 2 randos because there was 4 of us. So we would get up, we would like logged into the game, and we would just be like, we would all 4 pick Junkrat, and then we would tell the randos, pick Junkrat, do it.
Pick
We
Junkrat.
have. You want to have fun? Pick Junkrat.
Pick Junkrat.
We got that, and then we
correct.
also did one where it was like 5 of us were Reinhardt, and 1 of us was Mercy.
Guess who the Mercy was?
And
Gina.
and it was
Which?
we literally curb stomped people with that team. That team was a little OP at the time.
A little.
Just
It was
a
so
smidgen.
much fun.
Bad.
And then as defense, it was 4 Bastions, 1 Torbjorn, and 1 Mercy.
Oh.
Original quick play was so much fun.
we were starting to piss people off.
Starting?
Me, I wonder
don't
why.
imagine.
You
I
bastard.
woke up, chose violence. We all did.
It was so fucking fun. I miss when Overwatch was fun.
Do you know when Soul sent me Moss, do you just wake up and choose violence? That's where it started.
Yeah.
Started choosing violence in Overwatch.
It was Overwatch quick play.
Fuck you. I do what I want. Oh, fucking miss it. I miss it so much.
Logan voice, be Junkrat.
Just pick Junkrat.
Maybe
Pick Junkrat.
Pick Junkrat.
Yeah, it's.
He's the best character. Oh god, do you remember it, Logan? I still have that saved on my. I don't think you were playing when this happened. So Temple of Anubis, right? I'm playing Mercy because I have 500 hours as Mercy.
Of course.
I fall off. I don't fall off. I get pushed off of the bridge between point 2 and the rest of the thing.
Yeah.
So I'm at the bottom where the health pack is.
Yeah.
A diva and a May come at my ass.
Oh no.
I killed them both.
Yeah.
That's it. I just wanted you to know I killed a diva and a May by my little self.
I'm very proud of you.
I was determined not to die. Unfortunately, at that point, my team had died.
Unfortunately, they were dead.
They woke up and they did not choose violence. They chose death, and I was
They have
extremely
chosen
sad
death.
by this fact.
I was playing Roadhog earlier, and on the other team I fought like 3 people at once. It was Orisa, Moira, and Zarya. I killed the Orisa and the Moira, and the Zarya barely killed me. And then in the chat went, "Take that, Roadhog," and I was like, "You had to fight me 3-1, and you barely got me."
Fucking love. I love.
I
love
like
Overwatch.
that's one of the reasons I never paid attention to the Overwatch chat. Like I specifically would turn the chat off a lot of the time because like
Same.
usually it was toxic as hell.
As
Oh, yeah.
hell.
I do remember one time though I was like on my secondary account because I had 2 accounts is how into Overwatch I was. I was on a
Same.
secondary account and I was playing. This is where I was trying out Roadhog because I didn't want it to like affect my skill or my scores on my main account, which is how into Overwatch I was at the time. And I did actually have a very nice encounter with a guy. We were both up, and he just hung out with me for a while. We were on the same team for a while, and then we like added each other. It was really nice. I wonder how he's doing.
That's good. He's probably playing Overwatch.
Logan, do you remember when you met an animator for My Little Pony?
And Transformers.
And Transformers.
They animate. Okay. So I'm actually
both
friends.
Both or was it 2 of one of each?
Both. One person doing both. Their name is Bunny. I think I still have them on.
You do. I still have them.
They I think their tag was Battle Rabbit. And they did storyboarding for both My Little Pony Friendship is Magic and for Transformers Rescue Bots. And the whole reason they added me in the first place was because my tag on Battle.net is Starscream. And they got really excited because Starscream's one of their favorite characters. And so they were like, "Oh my god, Starscream! I love Starscream!" And I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, he's my butt. He's my favorite." And then so we added each other, and then like at the end of it, we were like, at the end of the night, I was like, "I would really like to keep in touch with you. Can I have your Tumblr?" And they were like, "Yeah." And so they gave me their Tumblr, and I go to their Tumblr, and in the description it says, "Storyboard artist for My Little Pony and Transformers Rescue Bots," and I was like, "Excuse me."
Excuse me.
Pardon?
Hello?
Hello? That has the similar energy of me, like, making Transformers animated fan art, and one of the fucking people who did, like, character design for that show was like, "Hey, this is really good." I was like, oh.
Literally, like, the most embarrassing thing about it was because, like, all of my fucking Starscream meta was on my Tumblr account, and I was like, oh, now, every time I post about this and they like one of the posts, I have to remember that they're an official storyboard artist for Transformers. You could say I've got connections.
Connections. I played Overwatch with the storyboard artists once.
No, I played with them several times.
But you know what I mean? It's like, I've made a connection. Is this networking?
Playing Overwatch, is that networking? Could this land me a job in the industry? Probably
you're playing on a network.
You know, that should be a good form of networking. I'm just like, hey, let's play Boberwatch or something.
Boberwatch.
It's like, yeah, so you wanna set up a networking thing. Okay, let's boot up Overwatch.
Isn't that, there's literally an episode of The Office about this.
Probably.
There is?
Yeah, no, there's like, there's an episode, it's like an arc actually where Jim gets sent to a different office. And so it's like in the same company, but it's like a parent, it's like a a different like actual office location. And like one of their team working things there is that they all just play Call of Duty during work hours.
Oh my god.
My god, that quite literally reminds me during one of my classes in high school where everyone was just playing the original Halo on the computers in the same room because somebody brought in a flash drive and was like, here's Halo.
Here's Halo.
Yeah, no.
Halo.
Care, that's actually something that happened to me because I was playing competitive Overwatch because that's what I do. I play comp sometimes, and I got on a game with this streamer. He wasn't a very big streamer, but he was like making enough money, you know. First of all, he was okay, but like he and this other dude just kept going back and forth, and eventually I was like, "Hey guys, we did pretty well last round. Let's focus." And basically, like I had to be like super positive. And at the end of the round, they were just like, "Thank you for calming us down," because we ended up winning. And da 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 da. And as soon as he left, I don't remember. I think I was on call with somebody. I just went, "This is why I don't go on voice chat if I'm upset with somebody."
Yeah.
Like, I will rant and rave off of voice chat, but do you think I'm actually going to tell my teammate you suck to their face? No.
Yeah, no.
You
Yeah.
bring down the whole team when you do that. You bring down the whole team and you make yourself mess up. You have to work as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and plus, it's just a game, my dude.
This is a toy. We are playing a fun toy together. Like,
Yeah,
Like,
it's
do I
Yeah.
get frustrated when the Reinhardt?
There's
Oh, go
no
ahead.
point to insult people while playing a game.
Yeah, like, do I get upset when the Reinhardt lowers his shield right as the Diva Bomb wipes my tiny little Mercy ass out? Yes. Am I going to
Maybe-
go on the voice chat and be like, "You fucking suck. How dare you play this game?" No.
maybe
Because you don't know what could have happened. You don't know if his finger could have slipped, latency, like...
or like what I was about to say, like really aggressively in a joking way. I was about to be like, maybe the reason I lowered my shield was because it was about to break.
Exactly. Like, things happen. Things happen. It's just a toy. Calm down.
That always
just a game,
frustrated me when people would get mad about me lowering my shield when it was about to break. I'm like, dude, you can see the cracks in it.
You can see the cracks. You would all
And
die anyway.
it's better for you. It's better for you to lower your shield when that's happening than for it to break, because I think it takes longer for it to come back after it breaks.
It does. It's a very strategic move. That's why, like, whenever I get Reinhardt or something in a game, especially mystery heroes, I'll let people know my shield's at 200. Get out of the way. Like,
Yeah.
I'm about to drop this shit.
Everybody scatter.
Yeah.
Scatter, go around the corner. Like, cheesy crazy, y'all. It's a game. Chill out. Learn to read the room. Learn to look at your Reinhardt shields or your Orisa shields.
Yeah,
Like,
I typically don't get like super duper frustrated whenever I'm playing games with like other human beings, because I'm like, okay, just like it's either like my bad or like, oh, they made a mistake and that's fine. It's just a game. And sometimes I will get frustrated when I'm playing a game like by myself. I'm like, eh.
I'm actually the inverse. I get more I guess because I'm being vocal anyway if I'm talking.
Yeah.
But I tend to be more vocal about frustration if I'm playing a game with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people that I really could not stand in the Overwatch community. I don't know why we're on a fucking Overwatch tangent now, but just we're here, I guess.
I don't know. We just
It started.
But the people I would get the most like pissed off with were the people who were just like, I would be in the top 500 if I didn't keep getting shitty teams. I'm like, no, dude.
No,
dude.
not now.
no, did you notice your own game sense? Nah, honey. Your game sense bad.
nah, man, nah.
You
Oh, no,
like
dude.
if you're taking this long and you're still not in the top 500, the problem is you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Please,
And like
go practice.
people,
Go use K5 and practice your use that to practice your aim.
Also, like, we just like straight up just some people just are never gonna be in the top like of the community, and you just have to live with that. Like you eventually, like I eventually told myself like I'm probably just never gonna be a really good Overwatch player, and I just like lived with that. Like
yeah, like because like it's just a game people who are like, yeah. Go on.
No, it's just like it's like it can be nice to get there, but it like if you like hyper focus on like I have to be the best.
Yeah, like if you're
then-
playing
Yeah,
a game to be the
people-
best player at it, you probably shouldn't be playing that game because it's probably not healthy for you.
Yeah, because like people who have the need to just dominate the game rather than just play it for the sake of having fucking fun. It's like they're not fun people to play with.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that brings their teams down, which makes them play worse, ironically.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was always the thing is whenever people were mean, they were always more focused on winning the fight against their own teammate than the other team, which just leaves you and your teammates at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah.
Like it's just so dumb.
The point of playing a cooperative the point of playing a cooperative game like that is to cooperate.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's also like my stance with people that play D&D and get mad at their teammates in D&D. Like it's the same principle.
I've never had an experience where like playing D&D where the players have gotten mad at each other. Like ever. I've had experiences where the DM got a little frustrated with us. So it's like, dude, you were throwing 1,000 things at us. Of course we're gonna run.
Well, it sounded like you just had like a really not good DM.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so, and Paul will say this to us. Sometimes running is the best option.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I want you to get experience. It's like, go easy on us. We're like level 2.
I can't get experience if I'm dead. Like you have to sometimes just run.
Like I there's a lot of merit I think to like obviously like a lot of people will be like, oh, there's death in D&D for a reason. It like adds consequences, but I also think there is a lot of merit to certain D&D games just not having death. I get why a lot of people like to have it in there as an option, and I'm not like really opposed to it, but I think if you've been in a campaign for 500,000 hours, I think death maybe should not be a thing that could happen at any point. You might want to just save it for like big story beats.
Like death in like late game, like later game stuff could be a thing, especially for like big story stuff. Potentially things to happen, and for a way for it to be maybe reversible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, once you do get to that point, like, permadeath, if you have, like, a good cleric and you have a good, like, or if you have a good paladin, permadeath is actually, like, much harder to get because, like, by that point...
Revivify and other
yeah,
spells
by
like
that point, they'll have access to Revivify. By that point, they'll have access to, I think, like, Resurrection, too. Depending on your DM, the cost for those spells are kind of pricey, but they exist.
Yeah, like I would in those games because nobody would play any type of healer.
Well, there's your number one problem.
Yeah, but like nobody would play a type of healer, so I would automatically pick it up because I knew nobody else would do it.
Yeah,
you need somebody who can at least heal something. So I take a class, I would at least know some type of healing spell or whatever, be it like Bard or Cleric or my personal favorite Paladin, because the DM in particular really like to go after the healers. And so if I picked a Paladin and I decided, fuck it, he's gonna let me use a Turtle, and Turtles have insane AC, I am going to be a Paladin Turtle. And I was basically, do your fucking worst, mate.
Do your fucking worst, mate. Like, I really, like, okay, that's another thing is, like, you're, as a DM, your enemies are, like, your DMing should only be as smart as the enemies you're putting up against your players.
Yeah. You shouldn't be like, there's a boulder rolling at you. Oh no, the boulder curves towards the cleric specifically at the last second.
Yeah, it should like if you're playing a bunch of dumb wolves, like if you're playing like some wolves out in the wild, the wolves aren't gonna know to target the healer. The wolves are just gonna be attacking whoever's in front of them.
We're just it's like if we're going against a whole bunch of goblins, they're not gonna fucking care.
Like,
Well, okay, so the fun thing about goblins is that goblins may not care in battle about who they attack. But goblins are actually very smart in that they'll lay out traps in their base.
Yeah.
So goblins can actually kill like level 10 adventurers if you go into their base. However, on the road, a goblin is
I think they're kind of like they just let the anger get the best of them, and so they end up making dumb decisions.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I always really liked about Paul's campaigns is that unless the person had a reason for knowing who the healer was, so like if we got into the battle, like if we were like 10 rounds in and Penumbra had been healing us, then they know who the healer is. But up until then, Paul just would roll and see whoever they would attack. Like it would be, or like whoever was closest. You know, it wasn't like all 5 of my people attack Penumbra.
Yeah,
like that's it's totally different. I first of all, I just love Paul's power.
Like Paul's like smart characters never feel like so smart they're insurmountable.
No.
Partially because like that's like, you know, human error on Paul's part, but like also partially because like he takes into account what we can and can't handle. He specifically has said like he likes to feel like his players are very powerful, so he'll make the stakes like high, but he won't make them so high that we can't like deal with it. He wants us to feel like powerful people, and he wants us to feel like he wants us to have a good time. So even
as level 1 adventurers, we're already like 10 times more powerful than the average human.
To be a level 1 cleric,
that was the thing with that DM.
To be like he specifically said like to be a level 1 like either like a cleric or a wizard means you are a successful cleric or wizard. You're a more successful cleric or wizard than 99.99999% of all other clerics and wizards.
Jesus.
Yeah, because like the magic that like wizards have access to, like as even as a level 1 wizard, that's like an insane amount of magic for the average person. Your average
and the average human, I think the average human's HP is like 1.
Yeah, no, the average human child's HP is like 1. The average human's HP is like 5.
Oh, that's right.
The average adventurer's HP at like level 1 is like
10?
Like 10 to 20 depending on what class you are. So you're already like double at the very least what an average human is.
So you have the durability of 10 to 20 children.
Exactly.
Penumbra whispering to themselves, I have the durability of 10 to 20 children.
Well, Dibble's just like, no. Penumbra, no.
So who's our enemy? 40 children. Fuck.
Fuck.
AoE spells, Penumbra, AoE.
I can get about halfway.
Have you seen children move?
It's okay.
It's impossible.
It's okay. Most children can't hit at a range. I'll just fly 120 feet up and hit them with fire bolts.
The children know. They're making a tower.
I will never forget you telling me of, hey, touch, melt.
Barrel. Penumbra, for anybody that doesn't know, Penumbra is my Aasimar cleric. They are a Scourge Aasimar, but Paul's cool and let me have wings on them anyways. They have a porcelain mask type facial prosthetic because their face got horribly disfigured during a plague that they went through like when they were very, very young. And because they helped the royal family with like healing and stuff at the time, they gave them the porcelain mask as like a thank you gift basically. They are missing an arm. So they have a metal prosthetic for their arm. I wanted like this idea of like with them, I wanted them to be like an avenging angel kind of character. So they're much more coarse than your average Aasimar. They're much more battle oriented. They're prone to anger. When they're not like totally like numb. They have this like they have this idea in their head that they only really exist to be a tool for their goddess. So they're not allowed to want things. They're not allowed to like have any kind of desires of their own. They have their duties and their duties only. And of course, like being around the group they're around right now, they're like slowly like they're melting out of that. They're starting to have like wants and desires again, and they're actually starting to like allow themselves the selfishness. We'll see how well that goes.
Hopefully that goes well.
Yeah, but like their whole thing, because like the Scourge Aasimar have a racial trait that they have this thing called radiant consumption, which is when their radiant inner light like pours out of them, and it harms everybody within 10 feet of them and also themselves. So they overused it when they were younger, so when they talk like this because their throat has been destroyed. And they have this genuine belief that eventually their inner radiance is going to consume them from the inside out. Yeah, they're a very fucked up Aasimar. Which is like, that's the kind of flavor I really like with Aasimar. I like it when people go for like the kind of inhuman, angelic type things. I understand the appeal of like, oh, pretty person, like just pretty human character, but like that's not the kind of stuff that appeals to me.
Yeah, usually whenever the usual trend I see for Aasimar is people are always like cranial nerve exams, and I'm like, why?
What?
I'm making an ASMR joke.
God, Sam.
What?
You almost said, "Oh, you darling."
What?
But like the most Aasimar I see, at least from the general D&D community, it's different like in the D&D communities on Twitter and Tumblr, but in the general D&D community, when you see an Aasimar character, they're a human, but they're like a naturally beautiful. And to be fair, that is like just what's in the player's handbook. Like that's how they're described in the player's handbook. And most people are only going to be basing the looks off of what they have in the source material. I'm of the mind that when it comes to D&D, you should be able to have as much fun with design as you possibly can within reason. Like, I think if something on the character's design is not going to affect the way they play, and it's not going to affect, like, anything stats-wise, I think you should be able to have it. So, with that, I'm like, okay, so, like, why not Aasimar with, like, wings on their heads? Why not Aasimar with, like, the kinds of wings that cover their faces? Why not Aasimar with halos? Why not Aasimar with, like, hands and feet made out of marble or brass? Just, like, going into, like, these otherworldly, like, inhuman, angelic traits that can give your character a lot more flavor than just making them a pretty human-type character.
Right.
I also think that more people should delve into using, because I think in the player's handbook they specifically call them plain touched humans, but I don't see why you could not have an Aasimar whose parentage was like halfling. I don't see why you can't have an Aasimar whose parentage was like drow.
That works.
So, like, I think, like, as long as it's not affecting, like, anything, like, play-wise, if it's just their looks, I think you should be able to do whatever. What is an Ezekiel wheel? I have to Google that.
What about an Aasimar with hands for feet and feet for hands?
I think that would affect the way they play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
but-
it would affect their movement.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but could you have it though?
probably
You,
not.
you could have it,
I
depending on the
Why
DM.
would you
you could
want
have
it?
wouldn't. Why, Sam?
What?
I'm
Why
like
would you?
having a genuine discussion. Why is your first instinct to make it funny? Oh my god, called them a fidget. Okay, I just looked them up. It's like the wheel within a wheel thing. I actually think that would be a cool idea for a Halo for them. I think that would be a really cool idea for like an Aasimar's Halo if it was like a wheel within a wheel covered in eyes.
Oh, that's.
That's
I didn't realize.
okay.
I didn't realize that there was a term for that.
Yeah. Apparently.
Also,
The be
it's
not afraid
hearing
looking motherfuckers.
Hearing the
No
term
scare,
Ezekiel
look.
wheel. Yeah, hearing the term Ezekiel wheel awoke into memory in me from high school senior year. Yes, high school senior year choir, where we sang the song where it was called like Ezekiel saw the wheel, and that was all the lyrics. Ezekiel saw the wheel way up in the middle of the air. That was all the lyrics.
Oh.
And it was insanity inducing.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry, D.
I was like, I hate this.
Hey, Logan.
Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry, D. I thought you were done. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. It's like I was a soprano too, so I could not reach the high notes that a soprano 1 could hit, but my range was still too high for an alto.
Oh.
Oh, look at me. I'm D. I'm a soprano. The world revolves around me.
Oh my god.
How many
gosh.
sopranos does it take to change a light bulb?
Oh no, here's the joke. Here's the joke.
How many?
Come on, Logan, say the joke.
None. They hold it up and wait for the world to revolve around them.
And, like,
I should have said the theater. The theater to revolve
Theater.
around them.
the theater. Like, it was so funny. Like, it's like sometimes it would stick me in with the altos, which is no problem at all because our altos were very, very quiet. Like, incredibly quiet.
Oh my god.
Like, you could only hear me. That's how quiet we were. I'm like, guys, please. I can't
Please,
carry this
altos,
entire
sing up.
thing. Please, altos. I can't carry this.
I understand you're not used to having the attention on you, but please.
Please. Everybody can only hear me. I have stage fright.
God, that was like, okay, so that was really funny. Moss found like this TikTok. It got on their like For You page, I think. I'm not on TikTok, but Moss is. And this TikTok, it was like famous like Broadway Disney songs that are usually for sopranos, and they were altered to be for altos. And Moss was like singing along. It was like, oh my god, I think I actually have a good voice. And I was like, yeah, because you're a fucking alto.
Yeah. Like, when you can find your range, the world is your oyster.
I just wish they made more songs for fucking altos.
I got like
Yeah.
song.
You're like, I'm not an alto, but I can't reach as high as a lot of sopranos. And I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
Hey, Logan.
Yeah, what's up?
Tell the hay story real quick.
The hay?
Oh.
Oh, the hay story.
Oh no.
So Penumbra, love them to death. They're like the what you need to know about like their kind of like personality and their sense of humor is they're extremely dry. They tend to only like they only speak as much as they need to. They only do as much as like is required of them. It's very much like they're kind of like if you had like a stoic tank, except they're not tanky at all. They at one point we were fighting a bunch of goblins in this haunted like mansion, and like the job was like we had to clear it out and then find like specific family heirlooms, and then we could have the house. We would just have to fix it up ourselves. And we were like fighting this group of goblins in there, and things were getting kind of hairy. I have a spell called it's called like create wounds or something like that. It's like technically it's necromancy spell, but basically what it does is like you touch a creature and they get hurt just from touching you. And the way Paul flavored it was like they kind of like rot around your hand. Things were getting kind of hairy, and this goblin was attacking. Hello, oh, Soul. Yeah, inflict wounds. Thank you, Jazzy. So the things were getting kind of hairy. Somebody in the party was getting attacked. I don't quite remember who. So Penumbra, who's usually flying during these things, flew down and just like said, "Hey," and then just like put a shoulder on the dude's or put a hand on the dude's shoulder and cast inflict wounds, and fucking. I think I either critted or I maxed out my damage, and it just killed the dude in one shot. So Paul was like, he fucking melts. Like, he just melts into a puddle of goop, like, at your touch.
That is I hope you know that I'm reimagining the Spider-Verse scene with that.
Just that was the idea, I think.
Hey. I think you saved me because that was when I was cursed.
Yeah, it was because you were cursed, so like every time you got hit, you took double damage, and so I was like protecting you basically, which is like really fucking funny because you are our tank.
Yep.
And Penumbra has a -1 to Constitution. So Penumbra is the squishiest character. I think Thibble literally has double Penumbra's HP, and they're the same fucking level.
Yeah.
I think when the next time we level, I think I'm actually going to start upping Penumbra's Constitution, because as funny as it is, it's frustrating as hell.
Yeah.
It's also too risky.
If you get critted, you're fucked.
Which has happened many times.
Yeah. Here's another fun one. So this was the last one. Soul and D. No, Soul wasn't listening in. Soul was out. D was listening in with Emil. And we were hanging out with Lance, who is an artificer with a prosthetic arm, and Olgath, who is, remember those goblins that Penumbra melted? He was their boss.
Yeah.
And now he's like our employee.
We hired him because we were like, hey, we really like the looks of your mercenary company.
I like your cut, G. So we hired Olgath. So we're going up. We're trying to find a phoenix. And we're going through like what is basically like a redwood forest, I think, because the trees are tall. It's snowy. Maybe not redwood, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And fucking Penumbra, I like basically crit failed my perception check. Penumbra's like the only one that sees the barrels in front of this tree,
which are like clearly like traps, and like all Penumbra managed to get out before they blew up was just barrel.
Barrel. And just like the tree comes quash, and then I fail my fucking dex save. So I get crushed underneath the tree. Keep in mind though, I'm at 112 HP. I'm good. I took like 33 damage. That's like only a third of my health. But I'm pinned underneath a tree. And I'm like frantically looking through my stuff because I'm like, this tree is like 1,000 pounds. Even with my 20 strength. Okay, by the way, guys, I'm an 8'2" Minotaur. His name is Fibble. He is an 8'2" Minotaur. I will not be able to push my way off of this tree off of me. And my teammates are getting fucking attacked. So I'm scrambling through, and I just look and I realize something, and it's a bonus action. So my turn comes around, and I look at Paul metaphorically, and I'm like, I want to use Misty Step. And he was like, do you have that? And I was like, yes. It's part of my vengeance. It's either my vengeance paladin, or I have 2 levels in sorcerer because I'm a wild magic sorcerer as well. One of those. Anyway, so I just fucking teleport behind this guy who's beating on Olgath, and I'm just like, hey. And then I smack him with my blade.
Hey.
You learned.
I learned from Penumbra.
Penumbra and Thibble's whole dynamic is like, they're like,
life.
how can you take 2 characters that like on paper sound like super fucking edgy and just make them like 2 very sarcastic and probably the funniest like people in this entire continent of D&D.
Dude, yeah, okay, so Thibble is an 8'2" Minotaur. He's basically like older dad, younger grandpa age. He's like in like his like 40s-ish. Roughly what would translate to human 40s. His first like most of his life was spent as a gladiatorial slave, essentially. He and some of his fellow calves were basically kidnapped and forced to be in gladiators. Thank you. I cannot fucking English today.
That accent is slipping. I can hear it. Fuck my dirty
I fucking try and shut the fuck up. So he's a vengeance paladin who doesn't have a god. Like he straight up is like, I'm not gonna worship any gods because they left me in that place for so long. I am my own goddamn god. Which you would think, again, this angry Minotaur would be like the angstiest motherfucker, but he's so gentle. Unless you're attacking his people, like he's always afraid of touching his teammates because he has a 20 strength. So he's always afraid of hurting people. And like he's very protective. And so the people who later attacked us, we were talking about the tree thing, showed up before we got back to the mansion and asked our friends about us. They were like, "Hey, have you guys seen these people?" So we got a heads up about it. But Thibble looked at Eric and his daughter Beatrice, who were both halflings, and were just like, did they hurt you? Did they threaten you? Like, he was just so fucking gentle with them. He's such a gentle sweetheart. And then, like, Olgath, who is, again, our hobgoblin friend, Olgath got down. And like, keep in mind, again, he's our employee.
Also, of fucking course, you gotta know that we ship Thibble and Penumbra.
Oh yeah, you should know we ship Thibble and Penumbra. And yes, he is the Hulk. The world is an egg. Everything is an egg, basically. And so Thibble, or fucking at this point, Thibble has one of the assassins in his arms, and he's got him restrained, and he's just goring him with his horns. And as he's goring this guy with his horns, Olgath goes down. Olgath has been beaten down to the point that he's now unconscious. And then Olgath's turn runs around. He gets a nat 1 on his death save, which counts as 2 death save fails because it's a nat 1. If he gets a third fail, he is dead. He is dead. And so Thibble, I looked between Olgath. I said, like, Thibble looked between him and the guy he was goring and dropped the dude and ran over. And Jazzy will know what I'm talking about because Jazzy also likes Beauty and the Beast. Fucking went on all fours over Olgath's body and pressed a hand into his chest and pushed all of his healing into Olgath, because paladins get like what's called lay on hands, where they have a pool of HP they can delve out to themselves or others. He put all 40 of his points into Olgath and fucking roared as he was standing over him as like, do not touch this. This is mine. You will not take him from me.
And then Penumbra got caught in a net.
Yeah, and then Penumbra got caught in a net. But you know, it was cool.
Cool. You got stuck. Pretty cool.
The law of Moss is that sometimes they recreate Beauty and the Beast. Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Okay, no, the law of Moss is that sometimes they recreate Beauty and the Beast. The law of Soul is that sometimes they just recreate that one scene from Tarzan where baby Tarzan's hands touch Kala's.
Oh.
Points at Abby and Leah.
Listen.
The rule of D apparently doing shifts is sometimes they recreate Bubbling.
I'm the one they keep recreating Bubbling with.
Yeah.
And then after that, so it's worth noting that after that, when Olgath woke up, to stand up takes more. Basically, he could not have done an attack and stood up at the same time. So as a battle master, he gets what are called what I forgot. Anyways, he used
I think it's like commanding strike is the name of it.
Yeah, he used commanding strike on Thibble, and he was like, he pointed at the assassin, he said, gore him. And so Thibble, I rolled, I used the extra damage, and Thibble fucking gored him and killed him instantly. So, and I have come to realize that Thibble might also have a crush on Olgath. Because Thibble is, when you look at him, you think he's the man in charge. He's not. He is not the man in charge. He's the protector, but he is not the man in charge.
He is not in charge.
Very, very
He is
similar,
not.
very similar energy to like people looking at the mutanimals thinking that it might be Leatherheart or like Slash who's the leader, and then it's Leah.
It's Leah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Like,
uh,
oh,
It's the-
it's
it's
probably
the-
Slash or Leatherheart or Rocksteady. No,
no.
It's
It's
Leah.
Leah.
it's Leah.
That's like I love it too. I fucking adore that shit. Thibble and Penumbra like literally give me life, especially because like it's like that kind of dynamic where you would think Penumbra would be like the kind of waifish character that really can't make decisions for themselves and like always like look to the much bigger like more masculine one, but it's like literally the opposite of that. Penumbra is
Thibble always asks for permission. He like fucking dotes on Penumbra, as in he buys them stuff.
like Penumbra
He
is,
worships the ground they walk on.
Penumbra has given Thibble more instructions, I think, than Thibble has ever given Penumbra.
Or anyone. I
Yeah.
don't think Thibble's ever given instructions ever. But he's one of my favorite boys because like he was originally going to be a grumpy grandpa. He was going to be grumpy and sullen, but we ended up having one character who was already kind of a little bastard and a big bastard. And so I was like, well, I don't want to have two on the team because that won't work very well with character dynamics. So how can I take this character differently? And I actually prefer the way Thibble has come out.
Really
I really love the idea of this big minotaur who can kill and who knows he can kill and is so afraid of hurting the people he cares about that he just like doesn't even want to touch them unless he has to.
Yeah.
Because his hand can literally wrap around Penumbra's waist. Like he can break Penumbra if he wanted to. But he's so afraid of that possibility that he's just like, hands off. Nope, I stand over here. You tell me what to do, I'll do it.
The law of Moss is that sometimes they create a character that is so strong it could easily hurt their family and refuses to do so because they're scared of becoming the monster.
Teehee.
Yeah.
I've noticed another trend.
Shut up.
No, because it happened with Dibble. It's gonna happen again.
Dude, and like
Maybe.
I mean I had that thing in the chat earlier or like the other day where I was like, yes, and I've noticed like most of the characters I make tend to have like some kind of disconnect from something they should be connected to.
Hey, Logan?
Y'all.
Hey, Logan,
My
is this
characters
projection?
tend to see themselves as monsters.
What'd you say?
Logan, is this projection, Logan? Logan, could this possibly be projection?
Might be.
Neither of
don't
us
know,
are projecting.
Saul.
What are you talking about? We're
I
both
don't know, so you tell me about your
totally
OCs.
healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, Soul. Why don't you talk to us about your OCs?
Yeah. So why don't you talk to me about how you and I both have characters that see themselves as monsters?
That's because I hate myself.
Yeah, me too.
At least you're honest.
Oh, that is a good trope, and that is gonna happen. I promise you. We're gonna get that one.
I don't know. A lot of my OCs, like they are angry. A lot of them, but some of them are just like.
Oh yeah, no,
They're all
like Kawaii Pigeon.
That's all I got.
We're like 100% doing that with Thibble and Umbra. I'm really like excited for Thibble and Umbra like to start developing because it's gotten to the point where the NPCs in the campaign are noticing that they like each other.
Fucking Olgath! Holy shit, Olgath! Olgath fucking like went up to Penumbra and was like, Thibble was upset last night, which he wasn't, but he was like, and Penumbra was like, why? And Olgath was like, well, don't you two usually, hang out before bed?
And Penumbra
Spend
was
time
like,
together.
Penumbra literally like could not like say words. They just went like as like Olgath just like left the room smugly.
Love that little bastard. If Paul would let us do it, I would totally do a polycule with those three.
I mean, Paul's cool. He might.
He might. I mean, obviously, they would have to develop naturally,
Yeah.
like how Penumbra and Thibble are doing. But oh my god, okay. Before I say anything, is anyone in here sensitive to any kind of like like gore or mouth trauma?
No. Should be
I'm
fine.
not.
I'm waiting on the chat to catch up. That way I can hear from them too.
Yeah.
Beep.
Beep.
I'm sorry. I know this is like 2 seconds of awkwardness.
Not awkward.
Spit it
I
out
will-
forever.
so-
Hold your peace.
So I won't go into super detail because somebody may have stepped away, and also I don't know how Care is about certain. Okay. So we were playing, and this is when we got Olgath. So basically, we ended up, because one of our characters is heavily against murder. We ended up not killing Olgath and another one. The other one ended up getting killed because he tried to escape and attack Eric, who is one of the DM NPCs. He's a halfling fighter. Fighter rogue, but that's a different story. And he ended up getting killed because obviously he attacked one of our teammates. Olgath did not do that. And so we were trying to talk to him. We were trying to figure out who hired him and what was his price, and was there any way, we could get him to not attack us while we do this stuff.
Prefer if you
and
did
he was
not
just-
attack us.
Yeah, I would prefer if you did not attack us. We really don't want to kill you. We're not murder hobos, okay? Side note, I'm so sorry. Before this, Thibble paid off 50 goblins to not attack them because he speaks goblin. And he was just like, hey, I'll give you guys 1 gold piece each if you abandon your, excuse me, carrot, sir. Sorry, he just jumped over my computer. I'll give you 50 gold pieces, or 1 gold piece each, so 50 gold pieces, if you guys just, don't attack us and leave. And so the goblins all lined up. They got their 1 little gold piece, and they left. So
People
Thibble is,
handing it out
he's
like
not-
Werther's Originals.
exactly, like a grandpa giving his kids candy. So they're very much if we don't have to kill you, we don't want to. We're not murder hobos. So we were trying to get information from Olgath, and Olgath just wasn't giving us anything, which, I mean, again, props, he was doing his job. And we don't hold that against him. But one of our my internet, nope, am I good? Okay. One of our teammates was very much, one of the characters was like, no, you're going to give us this info, or things are going to get bad. And Thibble was like, I do not support hurting people who are tied up. He cannot fight back. And it got to a point where this person, and I say, if I had been able to do something, oh, dude, I love that hair.
Oh, thank you.
If I had been not stunned by what happened next, Thibble would have stopped it. But I was so stunned. The character
I think
fucking
we
grabbed.
all were. We were all
Yeah, we all
what?
were. Thibble, or not Thibble, I'm so sorry, Thibble did not do this. The other character fucking grabbed Olgrath, grabbed a bunch of arrowheads and shoved them in his mouth. And forced his jaw to close.
Munch, I guess.
And was like, if you don't fucking start talking, I'm gonna let you bleed out. And it was fucked up. And basically, Paul admitted he was like, I had to do some major railroading to keep Olgath with you guys because no normal person would stay with y'all after that. And I was like, oh no, dude, definitely not. Definitely not. I 100% agree.
I think the only obviously other than the character that did it, the only character that didn't really seem to or the only character that didn't really mind would have been Penumbra, because Penumbra is morality is very loose.
Yeah. But Thibble as a paladin of vengeance is very much, you don't hurt the innocent, you don't hurt the defenseless.
Yeah.
And so he was obviously super upset about that. But again, I was so stunned at the time that he didn't do anything because I was processing what the fuck just happened. But if Paul was not, and again, I praise Paul, because if Paul was not such a good DM and was not did not realize that we, as in me and Logan, wanted Olgath on our team, Olgath would have straight up fucking either tried to kill us or leave us after that point.
What?
And I'm very grateful because I love Olgath. I love this little hobgoblin.
Yeah.
He's 6 foot.
What kind of clothes should I give this dude?
I don't know, something flowy, I guess.
That's what I'm thinking. Like some kind
What
of.
is he based off of again?
So the idea is like if a draconic origin sorcerer was an Aasimar, so it's like a kind
Could
of
you?
taking dragony inspiration as well as like Aasimar inspiration in the design.
What about something Middle Eastern?
And I got you.
Oh.
Something Middle Eastern. Oh, never mind. Soul's got you.
Yeah, that's what I was owing about. Middle Eastern is
Well-
also very good too, though.
You said sorcerer, so I was gonna make a shitty joke.
Yeah.
Look in the voice chat.
I keep getting my hopes up for like genuine like inspo from you guys, and then you guys make funnies.
I'm right here, you bastard.
I mean, it could have been worse. It could have sent this.
No, excluding you, babe, because you've been the most helpful.
Thank you.
You love me and you know it. Where else would you? Where would you be without my funny wizard with giant beard and sparkly hat jokes?
That I said sorcerer, not wizard.
This came up in the sorcerer search. I'm gonna buy this costume.
Don't.
Like,
No.
why?
not?
What's stopping me?
Me.
Give me one good reason why I
Why?
shouldn't buy these shitty as adult wizard.
Because I've put a hold on your bank account.
It's funny because I don't have one.
I've put a hold.
That's
on
the
your...
hold we put on it.
Yeah, I took it away.
It never existed.
Yeah, it
We
never
erased
existed
from
because I
time.
went back in time before you could make it.
High five, husband.
I hate this family.
But yeah, so that happened, and long story short, I'm really kind of. Hang on, just one second. Let me check something. Sorry, I'm switching into mod view on Twitch just to verify something.
Okay.
Okay, cool, we're good. So long story short, I am very concerned that we may end up, because we originally were a party of 3, and now I'm thinking that we may end up being a party of 2, not including the DM PCs.
Yeah. In which case, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, we could probably, like, if one of our group wants to play, we could probably ask Paul. Because Goblin Century is kind of loosey-goosey. I'm sure Paul wouldn't really mind a late addition.
I mean, shit, we were 2 sessions in, and I decided I didn't want to play my original character, and so we swapped her out for Thibble.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like it's a really, really fun campaign. It's just
Yeah.
no, there's no. It's just it's been so much fun. I love everything that Paul does with it. I love the characters we have. I like especially I just love it whenever Penumbra does some shit and I can just go tee.
Penumbra do be doing shit. Penumbra, like, I didn't expect them to be, like, one of my favorite, like, D&D characters I've ever played, but, like, they've really gotten to that point.
Yeah, I really like I really enjoy the what is it when, like, I'm trying to think of the character trope for it and my brain can't think of it, when, like, this big character just, like, absolutely adores, which I know Penumbra is non-binary, uses they them, and is AFAB, but, like, I'm using this as the example, like, just adores their wife.
Yeah.
The Armstrong thing.
Yeah.
From which I don't think
I don't think
but
it's
you know what I'm saying.
Armstrong.
No, that's Hughes.
Yeah, Q.
Yeah, Hughes, thank you. Like that's just Thibble with Penumbra. Like it's just very much like look at them. They're amazing. They're strong.
Just devoted spouse. Like, come on.
It's so good.
I do not love that trope.
I would do anything for you, and Penumbra's like, I know.
Penumbra's like, good.
I would
You
die
will.
for you, and it's like, please don't.
The way Penumbra developed too is like so different from like my original concept, because like, okay, so when I originally made Penumbra, I had this idea of like the porcelain faced Aasimar was literally what I called them. Because I think it was Filibuster Frog's like prosthetics in fantasy post, and then I saw like the uncommon Aasimar traits from like I think it was Pathfinder, the table that they have of like uncommon Aasimar traits, and it's like an official thing from like Pathfinder, but we're playing D&D. So like I went off of those two things, and I was like, okay, I'm going to build what I like to see in characters, or like what most intrigues me. What would I like to put on a character? So I made who I called the porcelain face Aasimar, and like the whole deal is like they had the porcelain facial prosthetic. They had pearlescent hair and nails. Their eyes and mouth glowed. And like I think the specific thing which I've said is canon, because it is canon for Penumbra, it's just something you don't get to see in the roleplay a lot, is that Penumbra is always perceived as whatever gender the person seeing them is most attracted to at first. So when somebody first meets Penumbra, they will see them as whatever they're most attracted to. So if they're most attracted to women, they'll see Penumbra as very feminine. If they're most attracted to men, they will view them as very masculine. Their actual appearance doesn't change, but the kind of perception of them does. So you'll perceive their traits in whatever way. So that was like one thing that I was like, yeah, this is canon for them, but like I understand that that's a hard thing to kind of like just show in D&D roleplay, so it might not come up a lot. And they like, so like I went into these things and I was like, I just want to make an Aasimar that isn't just pretty human. I wanted to give them like a lot of more unique things. So yeah, so like but the personality that when I finally did get to play them, when I added them to Paul's campaign, I kind of wanted, I thought they would come off more of like a typical cleric. I really did. Like, I genuinely did. I was like, as a personality, they're gonna be kind of like the mercy. Like, they're gonna be very compassionate. They're going to be very, like, concerned about their team. But the more and more they developed, the more it seemed...
Adoptable.
Yeah, like, the more they developed, the more it was like, no, it's like... They are so disconnected from their own, like... personhood because of like the things they've been through and because of the fact that they are an Aasimar, that it's kind of sometimes hard for them to wrap their head around like why certain things are considered bad. They're very much like a if somebody gets killed but they were in the way of the goal, does it really matter if they were an innocent? But not to the extreme that they would seek that kind of stuff out, just to like, if one of their teammates happens to do it, they don't really pay any mind to it. And like, honestly, Thibble is kind of forcing them to come back to grips with like personhood and morality, just by virtue of like they don't want to upset him. Which I really love.
That is so good.
Penumbra, I hold them up, I kiss their little face.
Penumbra good.
Penumbra
Thibble also good. It just kind of reminds me of my personal favorite character to play in D&D. One day I kind of want to play him again, just see how he developed this time. Like Warren, my Portal Paladin.
Yeah.
He was so fun. He like whenever I first made him, I was like, he's going to be like a very like is lawful good, and I was like, he's gonna be very just, you know, to the book rules guy.
Yeah.
And he ended up kind of being that, but also more like Holt.
Yeah. It happens.
So funny. It was so funny.
Oh my
just
god.
like the mental image of this giant turtle's like You ran over my foot with the chair. I am in incredible pain. He was so good. I love him so much.
I am in incredible pain.
And the hot damn.
Damn.
Var was so fun.
I would honestly love to see him in action. You should play D&D with us, D.
I should. And like, he was so good too, because like, I was like, you know what? If I'm playing a paladin this time around, White, and you guys are dumb motherfuckers that don't protect each other, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like with like, hi, I am within arm's distance of this person. You want to attack them? Shield.
I love this.
And then bonk with the fucking claymore.
Blanc.
Bonk.
Bonk. No. Bad.
Do not touch.
One of my favorite moments from him. I am so proud of myself. Is we were fighting this giant ass fucking, I forget what it was. It was some kind of big ass monster. And it ate this like, you know, like this couple people, like just gulp swallowed them whole.
Mm-hmm.
And me, we're like near the end of the fight and I got a crit and I was like, oh hell yeah. And he's like, our DM was like, it was a different DM than the one that usually murders us in sight. But like, it was a different DM. It's probably why I enjoyed Warren so much. But like, and he's like, okay, what do you want to do? I was like, I'm gonna slice its stomach, I guess, because that's the soft spot. It's like, all right. And then it turns out the people were still fucking alive. I was like, yay!
I did it!
I did it! And it's like, Warren's just like, okay, heal time. Healing time here.
That's so good.
Because he wasn't expecting everybody to be alive, and like, because I wasn't either. I was like, oh, okay, hurry up!
Get out, get out, get out, get out.
Get out, get out, get out!
Go.
Play
Get off the roof,
D&D
get off
with
the roof,
us.
get off the roof.
Get off the roof, get off the roof! Get off monster, get off monster, get off monster!
You should play D&D with us. God damn it, I want to play D&D with you, D.
Yeah.
I want to play D&D with everybody here, honestly.
Yeah!
Hi.
I want to play D&D. Like, can we play D&D right now? No, I'm kidding.
Alright, okay. Gamers, screw the Tuesday art stream. Welcome to the Tuesday D&D stream.
One time, one of our DMs was like, he went to the bathroom and he came back and we were like doing like a joke like session without him where I was like, he locked off and I was like, okay, I'm the DM now. Moss, roll for initiative.
And we just started going.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain.
Jazzy, play D&D with us.
Jazzy,
you missed a lot of D&D talk, Missile. I've got the actual design work for this Aasimar almost all done.
Give them a sorcerer hat.
That's a wizard hat. It's different.
It's different.
Give them a wizard hat.
I'm not gonna give them a wizard hat. I might.
Coward.
Jazzy, you would DM.
That would be so cool if you DM'd.
Yeah.
I do want to accessorize them though.
Another character that I played that I really enjoyed was my lizard folk. What was he? It's been a hot minute. I believe he was a sorcerer, yes. Yes, he was a sorcerer, lizard folk sorcerer named Yarrow. And he this little old man who just wanted to go home.
Oh.
Because, like, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make a character who has anxiety.
Go ahead.
He was
Sorry.
good. You're good. Like, he was good. He was so fun. It's like, like he once again I was like, can I take a subclass that can heal because none of us are healing. I didn't end up, I forget what I took, but I was like, it was so fun because every time somebody went down, he was like, God damn it!
Oh, nice, Jazzy.
What'd you say, Jess?
Oh, Jazzy said with them they get you get free feats at level 1.
Oh fuck yeah, that's how Paul
Oh,
does
hell
it,
yeah.
and after Paul did that, like the first time, I got so used to it that when we didn't get that with another DM, I was like, what the fuck, why?
Where is my free feat?
Guys, I'm gonna hop off because I need to make dinner and it's gonna take me a while. So
Okay, be safe.
I love you, Emil.
Yeah,
Bye. So like we have like 2 ongoing campaigns. One is with the Destiny tabletop. The other one is just straight up D&D. And then Moss has a campaign that we should be starting soon that's also D&D. That I'm excited for.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
I
will say I like being the peanut gallery.
I really, so like, okay, so it's so fun too, like when you get with a group that you're like, you get very used to each other, you start to like pick up on like the play styles, and I don't mean just the play styles, I also mean like if they have like specific character types that they tend to play, you start to pick up on that too. Like my thing with my characters is my characters tend to be like, I call them high concept, because like you'll be playing with like I'll have like these big ideas like behind them. Like with Penumbra, it was like the porcelain faced Aasimar. I had a character named Loki whose entire idea was like his backstory was kind of based off of Loki from Norse mythology. So his family was like named after Loki's family in the mythos, and like he had like some backstory with a nobleman that like kind of mirrored Loki's backstory with Odin. And then Jophiel and Lazarus, who are gonna be me and Paul's characters in Moss's campaign, have like they're 2 half siblings, one of whom is an Aasimar, the other of whom is a tiefling. And like their dynamic is like built off of like that dichotomy, and I really enjoy that kind of thing when I make like D&D characters. I like to go kind of, you know, like not off the wall, but like a little bit more like deep into the concepts behind them. Moss is like, I make big cow.
Hey, don't knock Jazz. Jazz is right there. Jazz is right here.
You have two like character types that you tend to do, and it's either like tiny or big, and then the personalities are wildly like ranging. Like you do tend to go for protectors, but like the actual personality behind the protector is very different.
Yeah. Jazz was a 4'2" changeling who started out as a bard and became a fighter. So she was a biter, and she got the protector type of fighting. So you had this little 4'2" changeling protecting as best she could. Oh, and her weapon was her violin, which was, up until she got her magical weapon, was her violin, which counted as a great club. And then there's Sybil, who is big and protects. And then there's Julia, who is small and hang on.
Yeah.
I'm sure this doesn't say anything about me.
Other than exactly what I said.
I would sell you to Satan for a corn chip.
You will do nothing of the sort.
Try me. It's also really fun because I've recently started dipping into actually doing character voices, which I'm not super good at yet. But my absolute favorite character voice to do, as we all know, is Julia. Like, there's just something so fun about this little 5'3" fat titan who just looks up at things twice her size and is like, "You touched, my friends? I am going to have to beat your ass now. So,
I killed
tough shit."
Really, I'm gonna beat
now.
you, my friend.
You mean you're going to beat me and my friend?
No.
Oh.
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 One day I'll make a character I get to use my fucking Russian accent for.
Lobster.
Monster.
No, it's the long crab. The lobster. Is it the lobster?
Yes, that's what they've been saying this whole time.
The big shrimp.
God.
With like a lobster.
Okay, there's a sketch.
There is a sketch.
There's a sketch. So that character
We
sketch
have a
is done.
sketch.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's Julia. Touch my friends. 1,000 years. 1,000 years of pain for monster.
A monster.
For monster. You kick Julia? You hit her like the football? 1,000 years of pain for you. Yeah, no, when people touch her twin, anyone she cares about, but especially her twin, she goes, "You're going to die now. You're going to die now, and I will not regret it."
Thank you, Missile. I can either
Hell
line
yeah.
that or
Thibble's voice, because I'm working on trying to get a deeper voice, is just kind of down and rumbles in my chest because I have the AFAB voice, so it doesn't go deep naturally anyways.
yeah.
But he tends to talk kind of slow and dwells on some words because he's carefully thinking over what he says.
Aw.
I fucking So Loki's voice was very kind of a transatlantic, not quite English accent, but like almost. Just very not quite refined, but it was something he was putting on to sound more refined because he was a farm boy. Very close to my Astrid voice actually.
Yeah.
Penumbra's voice is literally the worst character voice I've ever chosen to do. Do not, if you ever make a D&D character, do not choose to give them a raspy voice because you will kill yourself over the course of the campaign.
The problem with that is that
Me role-playing with you and then Olgath at the same time is so funny because you're both very deep and gravelly.
Oh yeah, no, me and Paul like doing like Olgath and Penumbra's voices together is like just a cavalcade of this, and it hurts. It's very painful. Then Theo's voice is just kind of like my own voice, but I do like a slightly higher pitch for it. Theo, if I did not have an AFAB voice, Theo would have more of like the kind of not quite the stereotypical gay man voice, but like similar to it. Just because he would still kind of have the more higher affliction to the voice. Yeah, you got to make the character's voice when you talk. No, kawaii vision, that is pretty much exactly. When I first started doing D&D, I only did like just my voice, and it got extremely confusing because nobody knew when it was me talking or when it was Jack, who was my first character that I ever did tabletop with. Poor Jack.
Poor Jack, he deserved better.
Jack deserved better. But yeah, no, and then like I have this more Slavic accent I can use for characters. I don't have a tabletop character that I can use it for yet, but I have it. And then Jofiel's voice sounds like this, so I kind of copied Julia's accent, but it's slightly slightly more French. It's a fantasy setting, so I can kind of like fuck up the accent as much as I want, and nobody can really say anything because it's a fantasy accent.
These are fantasy accent, you are right. So we sound however we want to sound.
Just however we want to sound.
My first and only D&D character currently, Asterfell, who's the adoptable that it was Jassy that bought me the adoptable, right?
No, it was
Citri.
Citri.
Okay, the adoptable that Logan made that Citri bought for me, they're my first, and they're supposed to sound like the main singer of the Orion Experience. The problem is that the main singer of the Orion Experience has what I would call the white twink voice, and I can't do it.
Oh yeah, that's the kind of voice Theo's supposed to have. Aww.
That's hard.
I mean, that Kawaii Pigeon, that is very fair, honestly. Like, you can't help that. I think when it comes to, like, that kind of thing, like, IRL, if you really can't help it, that's totally fair. No, yeah, God. Jack, Jack, I feel so bad for Jack. Okay, so Jack was my first tabletop character ever. We played Pathfinder, and we were level 1 characters, and our DM threw a monster at us. I don't even remember what it was called, but it was basically like if it just touched you and you failed a save, it killed you.
No, you didn't even fail a save.
Oh no, if it just touched you, it killed you instantly, and then it would bring you back as like an undead soldier for it. And that is what Jack died to.
Level 1, baby.
Level fucking 1. And it was really unfortunate because I was really excited to play him. But you know
it was a
how
bad
it be.
DM.
Yeah, he was not a very good DM.
We have trauma from that DM. I'm honestly impressed Paul stuck around long enough to help us work through our trauma.
Yeah, Sam.
Because I was so freaked out the first couple times we played. I was like, oh, Paul's just going to come and try and kill us. And Paul was like, shut up.
Shut up.
No. No, it wasn't a shadow. It was like some kind of ice wraith or something. It was weird. It was
a Pathfinder monster.
Yeah. Oh, and then we have we can't forget about we had a Pathfinder campaign going for a minute. And I played Flower, who is a child fairy essentially. And she has a stutter, but I don't necessarily like sometimes I'll do the stutter, but like other times I also just kind of that DM kind of long story short, she's like 4 foot even and has a stutter, and she's a fairy with a pet possum. And she talks very softly and very gently. Because she's 7.
Yeah. In that campaign. That's another character I hope I get to do more with. His name is Colton. He's a centaur. Please laugh. Now he's got the more stereotypical southern accent, and nobody's allowed to tell me I'm doing this wrong because I'm from the South. He is a centaur whose herd was wiped out by a human settlement, and then a human took him in and raised him, so he has like he kind of weirdly sees himself as a human. Like he knows like logically he's like, I know I'm a centaur, but he views himself more like a human than another centaur because he was not raised in the centaur culture.
Yeah.
And he's a gunslinger because I was like, I want to make a cowboy who is also his own horse. I just thought that would be fun.
I remember being there for whenever you were designing Colton.
I still have his design. I'll pull it
I
up.
did that on a stream before, and like,
the 20-gallon hat.
The hat.
20-gallon hat.
The hat, the fucking hat, the clothes you're trying to pull, like, for the clothes, like, you're trying to pull it in from the distance, it just got bigger and bigger.
I didn't realize how big it was.
I'm gonna try to quote, and I'm just gonna keep yelling the 20-gallon hat. It was genuinely one of the funniest fucking moments.
That and it's like, so it's like, what inspired you to name your bird? Fruit.
Fruit. That's the first clip I ever made on the channel.
Yeah.
The early streams didn't have as much momentum as the current ones because we didn't have as many people, obviously. But God, we were so fucking funny when it was just the trio.
I mean, that's how the Ace Attorney streams are, because it really is just us on the Ace Attorney streams, and sometimes Moss.
The originals.
Yeah.
The OG.
Because when I started streaming, I used to stream in a server we were in, and I started streaming, and I had this open invitation, where I was like, anybody who wants to join in and like be on the stream with me, you can join. That's totally cool. I'm cool with that. And the only people that ever joined were Soul and D.
I'm sorry, I was at work, my husband.
Yeah, no,
You joined a few times.
Yeah, you joined a few times. This was also, like, very early, so some of them were, like, later streams, so you were home, but you were always too tired.
I was very tired, guys. I had such a bad day at work all the time.
However, you were for the Mass Effect moment of, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
For anyone that doesn't know, one time we were doing the Mako mission and we died, and we didn't save. So it was like 12 a.m. for me and D. It was late for Logan, and when we like, as Logan was like going back to his last save point, I was like, "Hey, when was the last time we saved?" And then it restarted us from the beginning of the mission, and we were just like, "Oh no,
oh no!"
Yeah,
and that's when I ended the stream. I was like, "Well, see you guys next time."
Yeah, you were like so tiredly went, "Well, that was a nice stream."
Yes. I remember specifically you guys going, "Oh no," and me cackling.
Yeah, because this was like the time before like I had a schedule, so it was like I streamed when I felt like it. I went whenever I felt like it, and I went for as however long as I felt like. So sometimes the streams would go on for like a good 4 or 5 hours. And it was kind of crazy. And after like the first initial, like I think it was the first 5 streams, I was like, okay, I should get a schedule. If I'm gonna be serious about this, I should like do a schedule.
And not go on for 50 million hours.
Yeah.
It was so fun. I think the funniest thing was like I think because of how late it was for us when we were doing like the Mako mission stream, we were all just losing our fucking minds over the Mako mission controls. Because every time it was just, especially because I think Moss started doing their tally voice and Wall.
Shepard, you need to do better.
There was also the moment where Moss in their tally voice goes, "Shepard, I'm sorry, I'm not attracted to you. They took out my bisexuality programming."
I think you were nice, but they took away the fact that I was bisexual.
But we are, that is something I'm excited about, if you've been following my Twitter, at alien boyfriend with a 3 instead of an E in alien, you might have seen, I've been posting, after we're done with the first Ace Attorney game, we're actually gonna move on to Mass Effect. Sam very graciously bought me the remaster, so I'm gonna have the remaster, and I'm very excited to play it. So it's gonna be the first, we're gonna be finishing off the first Ace Attorney game, we're gonna play the first Mass Effect game, and then we're gonna go back to the second Ace Attorney game, and we're just gonna go back and forth until we finish both trilogies. And I'm very, very stoked, because Mass Effect is one of my favorite games. I know it's basically, you're playing space cop, but I like it a lot, especially because Garrus, my beloved.
Garrus, my beloved.
No, the funniest fucking parts of some of the earlier Mass Effect streams is when we were looking for Garrus around the place, because as Logan doesn't have very good direction sense, and and Logan turns around and is like, "Garrus?" And then you just softly hear him go, "No, wait, that's a Solarian."
That's a Solarian. Garrus?
No, wait, that's a Solarian.
Nope.
Literally, when the game started, Logan was like, okay, so when we get to the Citadel, I'm always going to get lost in the Citadel. I'm never not going to get lost in the Citadel. And I was like, okay, but it can't be that
I can't wait to get lost in the Citadel in HD.
Oh, yeah.
Also,
yeah.
also, for anybody who's like, why is there nothing happening on the stream right now? It's because I'm looking for a pose. Garrus does make everything better.
He
does.
Calibrations right now.
He makes me very happy.
The fact that we can't romance Tali makes me so sad.
I wonder if they've like I'm really curious. They probably haven't because they said they weren't going to be making any major gameplay changes. But I'm curious to see if they've changed, like, if they've added, like, anything to the romances. Because the thing is, like, with Garrus and Tali, you were supposed to be able to romance both with both genders.
But then they took out their bisexual programming.
Yeah. But then with Garrus, at least, the male shepherd lines are still in. I don't know if they recorded them for Tali. But with Garrus, like, the male shep lines are still in the game, and that's why there's a mod that somebody made where you can romance him as a male shep. But I don't know.
Hey, Logan, remember when we made our shepherd Phoenix a bald black woman who was short?
Yes.
Why did we just recreate Ikora?
Well, we didn't. She wasn't supposed to be black. She was supposed to be Hispanic.
Oh yeah, shit. Never mind. Okay, take it back, Naya.
Ikora does say, please recreate her and everything, though.
Oh, of course.
That is fair. Of course.
Ikora Ray deserves to be in everything. Oh, I can hear the tree frog. I'm sorry, I hiccuped. I can hear the tree frogs.
Ooh. I need to find like a good pose with a staff.
They do.
No, not yoga staff. Okay, there's a good one.
So here's the question.
Yeah.
Judson's holding a final step thing on the 22nd.
Yeah.
And part of me, Kay just asked if I was going. Part of me is like, I kind of want to, because as much as I hate that administration.
You also just doxed yourself.
Oh no, Judson College shutting down. Fuck that place. What are they gonna do? Go get my school records? The school's closing! I was gonna say now, fuck. I lost it.
Oh no. It'll come to you when you're not thinking of it.
Anyways, I don't know if I want to go or not.
That's honestly up to you, babe.
I know. It's on a Saturday, so you couldn't go with me anyways.
Yeah. Does that work?
Oh. I've never ever been to like a high school reunion. Like ever.
Me neither.
Yes.
This is not a reunion. This is our school is shutting down.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they're doing one last meeting.
The place where Moss went to college, they're like they aren't getting the funding anymore because all of the older women who were funding them are dying. And all of the younger women who would have funded them, one, don't have the money, two, resent them so much because of how poorly they've been running the school lately.
And also the fact that when we asked, hey guys, here's some ways you can make it easier for LGBT youth, and the people of color that you heavily discriminated against, they just straight up refused.
Yeah. So, yeah, because like the problem with the administration was they were very much catering towards the older women who were dying off. And that was a problem because they were dying off. So when the younger women who started to graduate came to the age where they would normally start like putting money back into the school, if they had some, they were like, no, because you straight up didn't listen to any of the things we needed when we were there. So that's what's going on in that department.
Let's not mention the fact they kept certain people at that school who shouldn't have been there because he was part of the Southern Baptist. He was a preacher in the Southern Baptist thing, which is who gave us a lot of our money. And so they were like, "Oh, we're just gonna sweep this dude's shit under the rug."
Yeah, it was also like a matter of like the thing I'm like most like upset about like in regards to it is not even like anything regarding the school. It's the fact that like that town's economy like ran off of the school, and without like I mean sure like the military institute will still be there, I would assume, but like without like Judson, they're not going to be getting as like many people to like spend money there, you know?
Yeah, no, like so many people in Marion, which fuck it, I don't even care if it doxes me. So many people in Marion, Alabama, depended on that college for their jobs.
Yeah,
like that was where multiple families like worked, like husbands, wives, everybody worked at Judson in that community, and they're not there anymore. Like, people are that town was surviving off of a pardon the term, a prayer, and it's not going to be there anymore.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
And, yeah, it's super unfortunate. But also, it's just kind of funny to look at that school and remember the shit they pulled. Oh, I don't know if I told you guys this, but my college is so I mentioned that it was run by the Southern Baptist Association. Basically, that's where they got all their money from, which, as you know, is known for being super progressive. Definitely.
Yeah. Let's also like not get too heavy on the stream though.
I'm not getting too heavy. I'm just going to mention one thing.
Okay.
So how do I word this? We had a couple black professors.
Yeah.
And then if they were tenured, they were kept until they passed away, or they were let go if they weren't tenured until every single person who was in the administration and the faculty was white.
Yeah, that's fucking bullshit.
But it's okay because we had people of color on the staff, and who were, by the way, yes, they still called them maids, our housekeeping staff.
Good God.
And shit like that.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah.
Oh,
so,
no.
Let that shit burn, motherfucker.
Oh, no.
Am I sad partially because of the memories I made there and the people I met? Yes. Am I sad that an institution that stood for racism and homophobia is finally falling to its own hubris?
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah. It's like...
You've made it like just intensely like much harder to pivot to a different conversation topic, because now I'm like, okay, how am I following this up?
I was just gonna talk about how my school recently changed. Well, it is in the process of changing its mascot. Not a college, but my high school is in the process of changing its mascot.
Oh,
because we were originally the Red Raiders.
Oh good.
So,
the school institution I've been to have never been fully racist, mostly because the town I live in, this particular part of the state.
Guys, I just said let's not get too heavy.
Maybe it's just because we've lived in this world for too damn long, but my brain's like, this isn't heavy yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, hey, my school had a kind of very
hey, does anybody want to take me out of the school? It's a charter school and I hate it here.
Again.
So why are you going to a charter school?
Because my last school was Dookie.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, charter schools tend to be better, like, school-wise.
Yeah, but it's like, I hate it here. Because, like, first off, we don't have C grades. We don't have C grades. If you want, we don't even have, no, it's not C grades we don't have D grades.
Oh yeah, if you don't get a C, you get an F.
It goes A, B, C, F. So enjoy
That's so dumb.
That is
Second
so
off,
dumb.
they don't do extra credit here. They just don't. Like, straight up, I asked one of my teachers, like, hey, is there any extra credit things I could do? And they're like, we don't offer extra credit here. And I'm like, okay, thanks.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
Choke on your
Sam
own
leave?
hubris.
Choke on your own hubris. Like, school sucks.
Did
Just
did,
straight up.
did Sam leave?
No, Sam's still here.
Oh, okay.
Very quick.
No, I actually haven't heard of that missile. What is the Equality House?
To be fair, Care, if we're going by how the alphabet is, it's like, it should be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, instead of A, B, C, D, F. But I don't want to know what an E grade would be.
When my mom was
They
in school,
probably
she
did
said
fall
there were
asleep.
E grades. Oh,
It's
Sam.
like I think it's like 1:30 there.
I could check.
Yeah.
I'm in
They join every art stream. I love them to death, but they join
Oh, you're
every
right.
art stream, and the art stream always goes way later than they're usually up.
Oh yeah, no, you're right, Moss. It's 1:34 there.
I
I'm
know
outta
it's 6 hours ahead. Bye, Sam. Have a good night. How do I do this again?
Put
There
them
it
in
is.
prison. Put them in prison.
There we go.
No, I'm gonna put them in prison.
You
we
wake
have
up in
we have a voice chat in our server that I do my streams through called Prison, where if somebody makes a joke that I don't like, I put them in that.
Yeah.
Jail for streamer.
Can we put
Yeah,
Logan?
yeah.
If any of us had the power, it would be really funny if we
Hi,
could
Sprit.
put Logan in the
That's
prison.
right.
Hi, Sprit.
Hi, Spirit.
Sam,
Yeah.
we think Sam fell asleep. Oh yeah, the
He said
Equality
I
House.
was
That's the
not
one.
responding at all.
That's the one that's across from the Westboro Baptist Church, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Oh my
it.
God.
Yeah, they built
Westboro
it.
Baptist Church, a name I haven't heard in 84 years.
They bought the house across from the Westboro Baptist Church just to piss them off, and then they decided to turn it into an equality or an LGBT equality museum, which I adore.
That is absolutely hilarious and such a power mood.
That is such a power move.
It's such a power move.
Yeah, what you guys said, but repeated.
Shut up. Also, welcome to the part where I post a new fic on AO3 and I constantly refresh it to see if anyone's clicked on it yet.
Has anybody clicked on it yet?
No.
Rip.
They will eventually.
They always do.
They always do.
I hope so.
Yeah. I'm sure at least some people will click on it just because they're curious.
Why do both of the last fics I posted both have a word count of 549?
That's very
you know.
short.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to be big. I posted
Hi,
it in
DRB.
the chat. It wasn't meant to be very big. It was just supposed to be something I kind of wanted to do because I watched a playthrough of Little Nightmares 2 and got inspired.
Ah, okay.
No, that'd be a fun game to play one day.
Oh,
Little
dude, it's
Nightmares.
very fun, but it would also
It's a
be
horror game,
one.
but it's but it's also a horror game. So Logan prostitution.
I will pee my pants.
It's like, oh no, Logan, your pants.
I want to play the new Resident Evil really bad. Like, I want to play it really bad.
I'm also slowly trying to convince him to play a Security Breach for when it comes out.
Also, so Kawaii Pigeon said about your fake. They said, commence leaks. Where is those kudos?
Oh, you know, they're currently being kept from me. They're currently being kept from me.
Sprite, is Destiny
Yeah.
behaving?
It is behaving now, yes.
Oh, good. You love to see it.
Love.
I'm reading lore stuff still.
Okay.
Let's see. What are you drawing them doing?
So I'm actually doing adoptable designs. This was.
Oh yeah. Oh right.
This
right,
is
right,
like
right.
a draconic origin sorcerer, Aasimar.
Oh.
This is gonna be a druid, and I'm kind of basing them off of like cherry blossom as like the plant that I'm working off of. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I found the thing. I'm gonna put it in voice chat if you want to share it with the world. It is so dumb, but it made me laugh. Please share it with the world.
It's
Okay.
Tuesday in it.
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
It's Chuck E. Tuesday, isn't it?
Tuesday in it.
It's Chuck E. Cheese Day, isn't it?
I can't wait for this to become a feedback loop.
We fucking like wasn't it last time we did the Tuesday art stream, like literally like 2 minutes of the beginning of it was just us going, it's Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah, was one of them. Yeah.
It's
Like
Tuesday.
during one of the Ace Attorney streams, got stuck on ya.
Dude, when if somebody that's like fucking radical British or something is gonna come in here, see us making fun of a British accent and like swat us.
God. It's Tuesday, isn't it?
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
Oh, Kiwi. I'm just scrolling through my dashboard. This little cat here across my dash.
I think I
He's
want
just sleeping and purring.
this druid to be very soft.
Yes, good.
Go find those soft aesthetics.
Well, I know they're gonna be like
Soft
pastel
stuff.
pink. I meant like in terms of like actual like rounder shapes in the body size and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah. Make them round like a pillow.
like a mad pillow.
I know they're gonna have they're the ones that I was like I want to do the 3 wings on their face instead of having ears.
Yeah.
Um,
I do. Whoop.
I gotta change my AO3 name.
Ooh, D's in trouble.
Ooh, D's in trouble.
How was grocery shopping, by the way, Soul?
I've gotten to the point in my life where grocery shopping is actually fun for me. Like the concept of going is actually fun.
Oh my god, you're getting old.
No, I'm going to go back to being. Never mind, none of my childhood years were that good. I'll stick here.
You say that like you're not currently child.
None of my early childhood years were very good. I'll stick here.
Fucking I'm really like raring to see like if I do get on EBT. I should, because I definitely qualify for it. I'm very broke all the very time, but I'm also like concerned about like whether or not they'll still give it to me. Technically I qualified for expedited assistance, but you know.
Grubs, you are correct. The thing is that I hated going to the grocery store with my parents when I was younger because they never bought me candy.
Oh, I actually fucking hated going to the grocery store when I was a kid. I would, if any chance, if my mom would let me stay in the car, I would ask her to let me stay in the car because I hated going in.
Oh, same. I hated being in the fucking grocery store.
It was like sensory hell for me, I think.
It was just hell, period.
And then
Now I see the grocery store and I welcome it with open arms.
And then like you know, like obviously you shouldn't leave a kid in the car while you're grocery shopping, especially not in Alabama. So like as soon as it started like becoming more like widespread, hey, don't leave your kids in the car, my mom was like, no, you gotta come inside with me. And I was like,
And then I threw a tantrum.
Yeah.
Going grocery shopping is always me just being like, I am dying of boredom.
Oh no, Kawaii Pigeon's got the right idea. Going to the supermarket as an adult is the best. You can buy your own fruit gummy.
It's also the worst because I can buy my own fruit gummy and nobody's there to stop me except my wife.
Who also wants the fruit gummy?
So we gotta like try to be responsible, but we're both sitting there like, I want the fruit gummy.
Fruit gummy, please. Husband, love of my life.
I can't wait until I can get like a credit card and also I pass my driver's test. Because like once I get my own ability to go places without my parents, and once I have the ability to buy things, I'm sorry, I'm never leaving the mall ever again.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with credit cards though. You can.
Yeah, no, I think
yourself over.
I think Soul means a debit card.
Yeah, debit card, fine.
Let's say that
Until you run out of money.
Until you run out of money. Credit cards, you could be like, yes, I could buy many things with this. Oh.
It's actually, I'm actually like, okay, so like if I really don't want to spend money, I have to get money out in like cash. Because when I have it in cash, I'm like, oh, this is real money. And then when I have the card, I'm like, this is fake money. This doesn't count.
Dude, no, when I have like money in my hand, I like count it out like 500 times to make sure I can afford everything I want. Like I was at the dollar store today and I was like, I have considered getting milk because I thought it would be cool if we had 3 milk jugs before we went grocery shopping. And then I looked at like the stuff I was gonna get for me and my siblings, and I was like, I gotta put the milk back because I don't have enough dollars.
So do they like? Do your parents just like give you money to do the grocery shopping, or like what?
Oh no, my stepdad drove me. He used his credit card. Did I mention that he bought a gamer chair? You guys should know that he bought a gamer chair.
Oh my god.
Does he
game?
No, he has a recording studio downstairs. He needed a new one. He runs a radio.
Good for your back.
He runs a radio station, and I'm not telling you which.
Okay.
That's fine.
You should tell me which off stream.
Yeah, I'll tell you off stream. Funniest thing about my parents running a radio station is that we were walking through the airport when we got back from our trip to Florida, and there's another radio station advertisement on the wall, like one of their competitors, and I just hear my mom go in Spanish. Sometimes I just want to take my nail and run it through.
Oh my god. Savage. Mom savage moments.
Mom savage moments.
This is the same mother that while we were waiting in the car for her friends to get the hookah, she just sassily goes in Spanish. They're not like getting the hookah, they're smoking it in there. Our relationship has gotten a lot better, so I can appreciate her jokes now.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear
That's
that.
good. Sometimes you just gotta sit down and talk about it.
She's currently visiting family in the Dominican, not telling you where.
It's in the Dominican.
In the Dominican.
It's Dominican.
And yeah, you'll never figure out where on the island.
Probably the Dominican.
There is one of them.
She's currently visiting family because my grandma just got out of a big old operation. And she's staying there. I don't know how much longer, probably just a few more days.
Yeah.
Oh, she called me and my stepdad while we were driving back home with the groceries, and she showed me some of the horses there because they were passing by. Which, yes, we have horses, and they do just walk around the town.
Oh my god.
They are lovely.
That's so
And Soul does love a haunt.
I love horses. My uncle brought me to one of the horse stables once, and I rode on a horse. I don't remember what I named them. I think they might have been white, so I might have named them Snow in Spanish. And ever since then, I've been obsessed.
Oh my god.
Horses scale me.
I didn't have a horse girl face, thank God, but also haunts.
You didn't have one because you're going through it now.
Yeah, this might have been.
Oh shit.
This might have been a late thing. That's why Abby loves horses so much.
Isn't Leah afraid of horses?
Leah's also afraid of horses.
Which is hilarious. Remember that she's a cowgirl in one of her AUs.
Yeah.
Fucking, I Moss, I don't know what your headcanon for that is, but my headcanon for that is that the reason she's afraid of horses is because Astrid like any sensible rich person, had her take riding lessons.
And she
got bucked off like once and decided she was done forever.
I was gonna say it's because she's like me and sees how big they are and is like, no man should be on that thing's back. But that also works. That's
no one can control that.
No one can control that.
I am alive because it lets me live.
Kawaii Pigeon said, I relate to horses. I too am high strung and will eat until I make myself sick.
Same.
Oh my god.
Same.
Same.
Like I like horses. I don't like to ride them because those things are fucking big.
I rode
I am small.
I
have a healthy respect for horses.
I actually did go through a horse girl phase. My dad took me riding once, and never took me again. And I was so fucking upset about it because, like, that one time we rode, I was like, "This is what I want."
This is what I want in my life.
Here's the thing: if I get good at horse riding and end up being like really good at horse riding, I will never let you people hear the fucking end of it.
Oh, I'm sure.
I actually wanted to, when we were doing like the homestead, I was like, my fucking pipe dream is to get a horse one day. And Moss was like, I will never go near it.
I will. Okay, and I stress this by saying I took a semester's worth of equine classes. So like I know how to clean out their little hoovies and how to talk to them and keep a hand on them so I know they know where I am.
Because that's something about Moss's Podunk Nowhere College is that they had horse classes at the college.
Wait, first of all, get this straight. We were the only college in Alabama that had a barn on campus. So, fuck off.
So jot that down.
Jot that down. I also learned that I have amazing posture on a horse because fucking Zippo tried to buck me off and my posture was so good that he couldn't do it, but the experience stayed with me. I was afraid of horses before. I am terrified of them now.
So, like, why did you sign up for the horse classes?
We had to take, like, one physical class, and it was that or, like, a PE class, or what is the thing with MMI? We trained with MMI, and archery wasn't offered that semester.
Was it ROTC?
Yeah, it was like ROTC basically. And archery wasn't offered that semester, so I took the equine class. Also, like, I was like, maybe I won't be as afraid of horses once I get used to them. That did not hold true.
Fucking God, yeah, no, like I've always really liked horses.
Yeah,
I admire them. I know they're beautiful animals. I am terrified of them.
They're anxious couches, is what they are.
Yeah,
and they can buff me off and kill me.
Also, they can kick you and fucking annihilate you in an instant. But like, yeah, there's this one time we had like this auction barn like nearby, ran by this little Amish community because I live in Amish country.
Of course.
They'd like sell all kinds of stuff there. They'd also auction off horses and stuff. They'd have all the horses there. You could look at them, you could pet them and stuff like that. You could just see which one's good for you. Like this one horse, I was like, oh hey buddy, and I was like petting it, and he was like really enjoying the pets. And then I tried to leave, and I happened to be near a wall, and he didn't want me to leave. So I moved his fat ass in the way so I couldn't leave. I'm like trying to squeeze by. I'm like, don't kick me, don't kick me, don't kick me.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, you're right. Missiles, the horse phase doesn't always leave. Like I had a horse phase when I was a child. Whenever I see a horse now, I'm like, oh. Like it doesn't grant me the same serotonin that it used to, but like I still love them.
Yeah.
Mine happened because our house was like right across the street from a stable.
My step great grandfather used to own a horse farm, So I used to go see horses all the time, and which you think again would make it so that I wasn't scared of horses. But I think I'm just one of those people that like I just have a fear of horses. I have a fear of a lot of things.
Somebody
To be
way
fair.
back in your
Yeah.
family line, or maybe even more recently, got killed by a horse, and the genetic memory has stayed with you.
So oh god, what was I going to say? Oh, so there was a horse. He was part Clydesdale, and he was. He was monstrous. He was too big and too green for the school to keep. So one of my fellow students ended up buying him off of the school because he was such a sweet pea. He was so sweet. He loved me. I don't know why. I think he knew that I was afraid, and so he was like, "I am big. I will stand near you," which only made me more afraid. But he loved me, and then one of the mayors.
Oh my god, he was trying to protect you. Dude, they can tell when people are freaked out because like they're like very social animals and they have to go off other people's cues. He was like, "I'm bigger than you, so I'm gonna protect you from whatever predator you're afraid of."
Yeah, he was trying to
Little did he
protect
know.
me. And then one of the mayors who did not like most people and did not like that horse also liked me. So at one point they were standing next to each other, which is always a good thing.
Oh yeah.
And I came over to them because despite the fact he was way too big, I still liked him because he was very gentle and he was always gentle with me. So I came over to him and I started petting him, and the mayor also liked me. And they both kind of looked at each other and I was like, oh no. But then they both like looked at me and started licking my vest at the same time.
Oh
like
my
each
god.
of them like claimed half of my vest and started licking it.
Oh my
and
god.
I was like, dudes, what the fuck?
See, I've
chosen.
I think I just really like very large animals because like when it comes to like horses and dogs, I tend to go for like the bigger like breeds. So like with horses, my favorite breeds are like the Shire horses. With dogs, my favorite breeds are like, I mean, Shiba Inus are not very big, but my other favorite breed is a Great Dane. There is a Great Dane that comes to, because I work at a kennel. For anybody that does not know, I work at a kennel at a vet's office, and we do doggy daycare. And one of the dogs that comes in, his name is Henry, and he's a Great Dane.
I love Henry.
He's so fucking massive. I forgot to tell you guys yesterday, partially because I was too in pain to get on the call yesterday. But yesterday I took Henry outside from daycare, and while his parents were picking him up, and one of the people that was outside literally got out of his car to go, "That is a big dog." Because Henry comes up to like my fucking chest.
Yes, sir, you ain't wrong.
I was like, "Yes, sir, that's a Great Dane." And he was like, "God damn."
I love Southerners. God damn.
Real fast, back on the horse topic. There's a horse school a few miles from here.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I don't know if they're open though, because for some goddamn reason their business hours aren't put up on their Google.
Oh,
so
no.
like, I'm gonna find another horse school. Be another one nearby.
I
Where
mean,
they teach horses?
horse school, which is for horses,
Yeah, like bird school.
which is for birds.
I want to stab you all.
I wish you would. Fucking coward.
I'm
I'm
gonna get a picture of Henry. I'm gonna get a picture of Henry.
I do have another horse auction barn story.
Oh,
Because my dad likes to take me to them sometimes. It's like a bonding thing. But like like there's one horse there. She was very sweet. If we had the money and the room and like a barn area, just lived in that type of area to have a horse, I would have taken her. She was so sweet. She absolutely adored me. She hated my dad. She kept like being like no and turning away from her, trying to show me like no.
Here's.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna show this picture I took of Henry. This is for reference. The daycare room windows, they're about hip height on me. Most dogs have to jump up to see out the daycare room windows. As you can see, Henry is just standing there, and his eyes are above the windowsill.
He's like, hello.
Standing there, menacingly.
It's so fucking funny because like you'll see like whenever dogs come through, because the daycare room is like right next to where dogs will be walked through when they come in for drop-offs. You can see like all of the dogs will jump up to see like whoever's coming through, and then Henry's just standing there because he doesn't have to jump up. I have
That's so funny.
I have more pictures. I'll pull them up. Do you continue your story?
Yeah. Okay. It's like she she absolutely hated my dad. She was like, "No, don't come near me." She was like, "Oh, hello, Fred." With me, I remember like one of the guys was like, "Yeah, she's a man's horse." I was like, "Ha ha 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 ha."
Well, about that.
Clearly, doesn't like this man at the very least.
Oh my god.
I was gonna make a joke that in an alternate. Never mind. Keep going. Keep going. Never the fuck mind.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb.
I'm curious now.
In an alternate universe, that horse liked you because you came out as trans like 3 years later. She just knew. She just knew.
She just
She
knew.
just knew.
God, where are all my Henry pictures?
Yeah. I think it was just because of the coat that he was wearing, but still just really funny. Here's a man's horse, like, uh-huh.
All right, you show me that man.
Show me a man this horse likes.
What man's this horse like?
Alternate universe, y'all. Alternate universe.
Alternate universe, y'all. Hello, Miss Sophie.
Where's Henry?
Hi, Miss Sophie.
Hi,
Miss
Hello,
Sophie.
Miss Sophie.
Hi, Miss Sophie.
We went to a restaurant in the Dominican once, like a year or two ago before everything hit. And the cool thing about the Dominican is that there's a lot of stray animals. Like, there's so many. And that's not in itself a problem. I fucking love looking at the stray animals. We were sitting in a restaurant, and it's nearby one of the horses stables. I know this because at one point we went over there and fed them some hay before they went to bed because they were just tired, big boys. And also there was a bunch of stray dogs
Henry.
around.
Sorry.
There was a bunch of There was a bunch of stray dogs around, and I just looked at them, and I looked at my mom and my uncle, and my mom was just like, no.
No.
However, my uncle almost
No.
considered it. And then, like, a year or two later, my uncle got his big ol' pit bull, Zeus, or Zeus, depending on if you're saying it in Spanish or English. And I love that dog. That dog is a sweetheart. Like, genuinely, that dog is adorable. However, that dog once knocked me over. That's how fucking strong that dog is.
Here's
Also,
back.
broken-
Yeah, no, pit
Here's
bulls are
back when
insanely
Henry could fit
strong.
in a chair. He could no
When
longer
Henry
fit in
could
this
fit in
chair.
the chair.
He could no longer fit in this chair.
He's so polite.
He is. Fucking God, I had a picture.
I care. I just looked in the chat. I say, "Sir, that horse is a lesbian."
Sir, that horse is a lesbian. More Henry. He's my favorite. He's like, okay, him and Sugar are my favorite two dogs in daycare, but I have a lot more pictures of Henry than I do of Sugar. He's so
Henry.
big that I'm gonna. He's so big that he can literally stand over all the other dogs, and he just turned a year old.
Yeah, he's still not done growing yet.
He's still not doing. He's not filled out yet. He's just lanky.
Yeah.
I want a Great Dane really bad because of him. They have like much shorter lifespans than most dogs because of how big they are. They only live to be about 7 or 8.
Aw.
But I own rats, so I'm used to short lifespans. So it's not a deal breaker for me.
I love how you're like German Shepherd mixes are insane. Like every time I'm
this
like,
is how
"Sophie's a
big.
German Shepherd mix."
This is how big his paw is. Yeah, they are.
His palms.
to-
Yeah, like Sophie, amazingly enough, is like, yeah, she's energetic, but she's very well behaved.
I mean, like, obviously it's dog dependent, but, like, when you, as far as it goes, like, German Shepherds as a breed are extremely high strung. So when you add that to, like, the energy of a excuse me, to the energy of a lab, which is the breed they're most commonly crossed with. You get dogs that freak out about everything.
Sophie.
Yeah.
There's another dog that comes to our daycare. She doesn't go to the room and she doesn't go out with daycare because she is so high strung. She doesn't attack other dogs, but other dogs will feel how high strung she is and attack her.
Yeah, like Sophie doesn't get along with other dogs, not because she's like super aggressive, but because she used to get along with bigger dogs very well. Then she got attacked by a neighbor's dog, and now she's afraid of all other dogs.
Aww.
But she was always terrified of little dogs for some reason. Like, Sophie, you could sit on that thing.
Oh my god.
On the opposite side of the spectrum, I have 2 chihuahuas who think they're hot shit.
That's just how chihuahuas are.
That's just how chihuahuas are. Like, Sophie is like, we call it her Heinz 57 because there's so many.
Yeah.
But, like, the main ones are Labrador. She looks like a big old fat lab. Black lab specifically. She's a sausage. Yet she's got German Shepherd. She's very smart. She also has Collie in there, some kind of hunting dog. So she is a great mix of a lot of very intelligent dogs. She's the biggest airhead I've ever met.
Oh my god. Well,
like,
see, like, that's the thing is, like, when you have a really smart dog, they kind of loop back around into being idiots.
Yeah, she is very smart. Like, I will not deny that she is very, very smart. Like, she's figured out how to open up the front door. That's how smart she is. She saw us do it a couple times, and she's like, I can do this now. And yet, she's just, like, doesn't pay attention to shit. She's so funny. Yeah, her litter mate, had the German Shepherd destructiveness, though.
Yeah.
It's like, you got it all from... It's like, it all went into you.
Yeah, it stole all the energy in the family.
Yeah. But she was still a very, very good girl.
Yeah.
Like, it took her a bit to grow out of it, but eventually she did, and she was fine. Her
Yeah.
name was Hope. She was a very good girl. She also... I'm sitting right across from it right now. There's a cupboard door. And Sophie, if you open up that cupboard door, doesn't even pay it any attention. Hope would bark at it.
Why?
We don't know why.
Hope. No.
It's like, Hope, why?
Some of the characters in our daycare, we have Shug and Baker, who are two they're 2 Yorkies, and they are like, Shug is very spoilt and Baker is very chill, but also he'll eat anything that's on the floor. Also, Kawaii Pigeon, that's actually because when it comes to dogs, we actually bred dog breeds for specific purposes. Like, dog breeds all exist for a reason, even if that reason is just companionship. A lot of the dog breeds we have now that are just like considered companion dogs actually did have jobs beforehand. Like, Pomeranians are a Spitz breed, and they used to be much bigger before. I think it was a nobleman or a queen. I don't remember exactly. But she was like, I want that, but in lap size. So they bred them smaller and smaller and smaller until we got the Pomeranians that we have now. But like almost all dog breeds were bred with a purpose in mind, and that's why they're very, very distinctive. Cats, we just kind of kept around. So any cat breeds that we bred specifically, they are usually bred for aesthetics and aesthetics only, so they're not as differentiated as dog breeds are. So, like, I think even, like, that comes down to, like, the registries and stuff. I think when it comes to cat, like, breed registries, they're not as strict about bloodline and lineage as dog breed registries tend to be. With a dog breed registry, if any of their, like, ancestry, like, within the first, like, page is, like, not of that breed, they cannot be considered that breed. But with cats, it's different.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like that's why even like dog personalities tend to be more distinctive based on breed, whereas cat personalities tend to be more distinctive based on color. Like
Yeah.
Color point cats and orange cats and tortoiseshell cats tend to have not super distinct, but still like distinctive personalities, and it's entirely color based.
Yeah. Apparently tuxedos are super duper chill.
Yeah, tuxedos are very chilled. Tortoiseshells have what they call it tortitude, which means they just have an attitude.
Yeah.
Color point cats tend to be very anxious and very loud.
Yeah. Spike was a tuxedo, and he was very, 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 very sweet. Just you could pick him up and just kind of like gently flail him around a little bit, and he would just take it.
Yeah, that's how
Like-
Souffle is. Souffle's a tuxedo too, and you can literally like wiggle her around and like just do whatever with her, and she'll just let you and purr the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, and he also, because he did have Siamese in him, and he had the wah and the never
wah.
shut up. Yeah, it's like never shut up. Was very smart, so smart that he was anxious of everything. Well, yeah,
you fucking love to see it.
So funny. It was so funny. Like, he was just basically anxiety incarnate. It was so fucking funny. That mouse was also a tuxedo, and she only got sweet when she got old. Before that, she was an absolute bitch.
I have 4 cats. Me and Moss both have 4 cats. We have Souffle, who is a tuxedo cat. When we adopted her, I stood in the PetSmart just holding her for literally like
She's
almost
purring at me right now.
Yeah, like almost 2 hours. I just held her in the PetSmart, and she was a kitten, and she just let me hold her. She struggled like twice, but like after like the second time, she just stopped, and she just purred in my arms for 2 fucking hours while Moss filled out paperwork and paid the adoption fees.
I think that's what she imprinted on you.
Yeah, she imprinted on me. I'm her favorite person now. Cheesecake is a orange.
She's as dumb as a sock of rocks.
Yeah, Souffle is stupid. Cheesecake is a flame point, which is just a color point cat, but instead of being like very dark points, he has orange. So he's kind of halfway got the orange cat like himbo effect where he can be stupid sometimes, but mostly he's extremely anxious. We had a couple scares where he got a urinary blockage and he ended up fine, but like literally the first car ride he ever went on that wasn't like coming from the shelter was when we had to drive 3 hours to an emergency vet to get a blockage out of him, and I think it traumatized him because now every time he goes in a car he freaks the hell out to the point where he'll like rub his nose raw on the carrier. So if we take him on a car ride, we have to get him anti-anxiety meds like that'll like knock him out the whole time.
Poor Cheesecake.
Poppy is our tortoiseshell. She's our youngest cat. I think she just turned 2. Or she's going to turn 2 soon. Or she's already turned 2 and is going to turn 3. I'm not sure.
2 is in the equation, that's all we know.
2 is in the equation. So she's very vocal. I think she learned that from Cheesecake because she and Cheesecake hung out the most when she was a baby. She's very, very sweet. I just noticed that we just ran past our runtime, but I'll finish this talk. She always speaks her mind, so she's got that tortitude, and she's like the most mischievous one. She's the one that always gets into shit. Carrot is an orange cat, and just like that all orange cats are from real life or himbos post, he is a himbo. He's stupid. There's nothing going on in his head. He's the only cat we have that isn't vocal. But like when he does talk, it's like very like gentle squeaks.
He squeaks.
Yeah, so like where all our other cats have very robust like meows, Carrot just goes And he's like,
Aw,
one,
me
he's
too.
our biggest cat. He's 20 pounds and he's not even fat. He's just big. And two, he's got the squeakiest, tiniest meow.
But he was the one with the testosterone the longest.
Yeah, so it's funny because like we didn't get to neuter him until he was like a year and a half old. So he had like that testosterone sitting in him, and he still has his Tom cheeks from it. But God, yeah. Also, MCR is on the Venom 2 soundtrack.
Yes. Okay. So somebody made a post that was like, if Venom came out 10 years ago, My Chemical Romance would have been on the soundtrack. Sent tweet. And then someone was like, Venom 2, let's make it happen, folks. Praying for this post to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Everyone, please. And then when you look up Venom, Let There Be Carnage on Spotify, the first thing you see is "Thank You for the Venom" by My Chemical Romance.
Oh,
I can feel Logan going feral from the next room
that's
over.
an old one too. That's a really old one.
excellent.
But yeah, no, I'm super excited. But yeah, no, we've hit runtime. So what we've gotten a sketch and a half for these designs. I'm very excited to finish them. I might finish them off stream, just to get them out. If you're interested, if you think you would be interested in buying one, they will be posted on my Twitter, which is @alienboyfriend with a 3 instead of an E and alien. That's where I post most of my stream updates. They will also, I've also started posting back on Tumblr again, but I post mostly on my Twitter. This VOD should be up either tonight or tomorrow night on the YouTube. We have a YouTube. Did you know that we had a YouTube? The YouTube is linked in our info box. If you look at my description on Twitch, that's where literally all of my VODs go. Like every single stream we do, the VODs go to the YouTube. So if you ever want to watch a stream that you really liked, or if you missed a stream and you want to catch on it, if you want to start our Ace Attorney playthrough from the beginning and watch all of the Ace Attorney pieces, that's where they are. They're all up on the Twitter. Or not the Twitter, they're all up on the YouTube. Tomorrow, speaking of Ace Attorney, tomorrow we are back to playing Ace Attorney. It's going to be Turnabout Goodbyes Part 4. I believe we just finish off a investigation section, or did we just finish off a court section?
I think it was an investigation.
Okay, so
now we're on to the court.
if I remember right, we just finished off an investigation section, so we're about to go back to court. So that's very exciting. We're specifically on the part of the first Ace Attorney game where we are defending Edgeworth.
Let's go save our mean boyfriend!
Let's go save our mean boyfriend! And yeah, once we're done with the Ace Attorney playthrough, Wednesdays are going to be Mass Effect, but we still have the end of this case, and then the bonus case at the end of the first game for Ace Attorney, so I think it'll probably be going for the next month and a half. And then Thursday, we're going to be doing a multiplayer Minecraft play. We have a server that I made for my little friend group, so it'll be like a multiplayer stuff with that. I'll probably be working on my base a little bit. We'll be chatting. It'll be fun time. Next week, Tuesday, Wednesday are the same as always. Thursday, we will be playing Destiny 2, and it's going to be the new season. So yeah, I hope to see you guys then. I hope you have an amazing evening. And I'd love to see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye!
Goodbye, everyone.